Chapter 2050. Fort Leader Ku was very depressed in his heart. Sure enough, it was like what Elder Yu said. Their foundation was not good enough. He did not even have a decent military advisor around him. All he had was a bunch of useless people. Although they were all his trusted subordinates, they were not as good as him. Other than coming up with some stupid ideas and suggestions, they did not know how to do anything else. His subordinate was at a loss for words. Are they really that powerful? Of course. Do you think Elder Yu is an idiot? He asked us to deal with a few insignificant people and he gave us such a huge reward. Leader Ku sneered and said, if we really think that we can just send a few people to stall them, then we are really arrogant. You are so wise. Hearing Fort Leader Ku's words, the subordinate broke out in cold sweat. Thinking about what Fort Leader Ku said, it was indeed very reasonable. If it was really so easy, why didn't Elder Yu do it himself? Even if he was at a critical stage in his cultivation, it would not stop him from sending a few subordinates out. Humph. I don't think Elder Yu has any good intentions. Leader Ku said, I think he wants to use us as cannon fodder to preserve his own strength. Master, then do we still need to help Elder Yu? The trusted subordinate asked worriedly. Help. We have to help him. Leader Ku said, there is no other way. Even if we know that he wants to use us as cannon fodder, we still have to help him. After all, Elder Yu is the most powerful person in this area. If we want to continue mingling here, it is impossible without the support of Elder Yu. Even if we are now the second largest Miao village, once Elder Yu gets control of Blue Miao village, it will be easy for him to destroy us. We will not have any chance to fight back. We have developed a lot in the past few years. And we have so many people. We can't be so weak. His subordinate asked hesitantly. Humph. They are just a bunch of useless people. Just like you. As my subordinate, look at your brain. Do you even have any IQ? With your level, any of Elder Yu's subordinates can kill you easily. Fort Leader Ku snorted and said, moreover, the level of our venomous witchcraft is much lower than theirs. With just our strength alone, it is impossible for us to fight against them. But, as Fort Master said, we can't do it either way. What should we do then? His trusted subordinate asked. The only way is to listen to Elder Yu and be his lackey. That way, once Elder Yu becomes the owner of Blue Miao village, he can guide and help us. He can let us play the role of his lackey and allow us to develop further. Stockade Leader Ku sighed and said, that's why I've said so much to tell you that we don't have a choice. This time, we can only succeed. Once we fail, Elder Yu will feel that we're worthless and will not take care of us in the future, then. Leader Ku, do you mean that we should send out our elite warriors? Asked the subordinate. Yes. Not only must we send our elite warriors, but they must be the best of the best. I will personally lead them. In our mutated Miao village, only I know some high-level venomous witchcraft and can use it successfully. Other than that, the rest of us are not good enough. Fort Leader Ku said, from now on, keep a close eye on Yang Ming and his men. Once they enter the Miao village's forest, we will be ready to strike. Yes. His trusted subordinate quickly replied. He might not be able to do other things, but when it came to monitoring people, he could at least do it. With so many spies, it would be a piece of cake for him to monitor Yang Ming and his men. On the other side, Yang Ming was still fretting about how to capture Ku Layman. He did not expect that Ku Layman would take the initiative to lead a team to deal with Yang Ming. Sometimes, things were so coincidental. While one side was fretting, the other side would solve the problem for you. Yang Ming, Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong, Xiao Susu, and Xia Shui could not figure it out. After all, They had just arrived in Meow Village, and they were the kind of people who did not know anything about the mutated Meow Village's habits and strength. If they wanted to lure Fort Leader Ku out directly, they would not know where to start. Looks like we can only rely on luck. Yang Ming sighed and said, "How about this? Tomorrow morning, we will enter the Meow Village's forest. We cannot give our opponents too much time to plan. The more they plan, the more disadvantageous it will be for us. Only when we are unprepared, can Ku Layman personally lead a team to deal with us." "You are right. Then we will go back and rest." "Same old plan," Lu Yezi said, and the others nodded in agreement. Early the next morning, Yang Ming took the four of them into the Miaojiang jungle. Ku Layman's confidant, who had arranged an informant in the town, also told the news to Ku Layman immediately. Indeed, Ku Layman was preparing a voodoo poison to deal with Yang Ming. After all, many voodoo poisons had a time limit. It was impossible to leave them there without using them. Such a powerful voodoo poison was even more so. If there was nothing wrong, Fort Leader Ku would not leave them there without using them. However, before he finished, his confidant reported that Yang Ming had entered the Meow Village's forest. "Why are they so fast?" Ku Layman frowned. "Why don't they rest for 2 days and check out the situation first?" "Who knows?" They entered the Meow Village's forest early in the morning. "Fort Leader, what should we do? Should we move out now?" his confidant asked anxiously. "Not yet. The voodoo poison has not been prepared. I can't go yet. How about this? Find a few people and test their strength first, especially that Yang Ming. I heard that his girl is Lon Ling from Blue Meow Village. This kid might have some ability. Let's see how strong he is first." "Yes." The trusted subordinate nodded and went out to make the arrangements. The thing that the mutated Meow Village lacked the least was manpower. Moreover, many of these subordinates were arrogant. These years, the Blue Meow Village had internal strife and could not even fend for themselves. Hence, the mutated Meow Village developed very quickly and became the second largest Meow Village in Miaojiang. Hence, these people were very impetuous in their hearts. They thought that they were very powerful and were not afraid of anything. They did not even need to listen to the advice of their subordinates. Many of them stood up and volunteered to teach Yang Ming a lesson. Looking at these ignorant and fearless subordinates, the confidant felt a little sad. However, he did not expect that he was also arrogant before. If not for Fort Leader's advice, even he would think that Yang Ming was easy to deal with. Chapter 2051. Huashang District, inside Yang Ming's villa. After Chen Mingyan's proposal, Sun Jie, Xiao Qin, Zhao Ying, Wang Xiaoyan, Jing Xiaolu, and Victoria also moved in. Anyway, the villa was the largest one, and there were a lot of rooms. Even if everyone had a room, it was enough. Besides, everyone didn't want to live by themselves, so they merged their rooms and lived together. When Yang Ming bought this villa, did he have the same idea? Did he expect that we would move in together, so he bought the biggest one? Sun Jie sat in the living room and looked at the huge living room. There was a faint smile at the corner of her mouth. Who knows? Chen Mengyan shrugged. Now that I think about it, it should be like this. This guy is really too much. Why didn't he tell me earlier? I almost made a big joke out of myself. Chen Mengyan was a little upset that Yang Ming didn't confess to her before he went to perform the mission. At least let me be mentally prepared. This is great. It was the enemy who sent the photos to my house. Only then did I know about Yang Ming's romantic affairs. However, Chen Mengyan was also very grateful to Sun Jie. If it weren't for her, she might have lost her mind and fallen out with everyone. In that case, she would have fallen into the enemy's trap and let his plan succeed. I don't know if Yan Yan has found Yang Ming's master. How is it going? Xiao Qing said with some concern. There should be no problem. She hasn't come back after so long. She must have met Yang Ming's master. Zhao Ying and Wang Xiaoyan had the best relationship. Naturally, she knew Wang Xiaoyan's character. She was straightforward. If she hadn't met Yang Ming's master, she would definitely go home directly. Yes, but I have already told my father. He said that he will discuss with the people from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau to investigate this express delivery, Chen Mengyan said. Right, Sister Xiao Qing. Last time, Yang Ming gave us to help decrypt the mobile phone. Would it be the same group of people who want to deal with Yang Ming this time? Zhou Jiejia suddenly thought of the phone that Yang Ming wanted to decrypt last time. That group of people was also targeting Yang Ming. Now that he thought about it, these people were all active around Songjiang City. Could they be the same group? Oh. If that's the case, it's really possible. Xiao Qing nodded and said, that phone is more difficult to crack. I haven't touched it yet, and Yang Ming isn't particularly anxious, so I put it aside for the time being. Now, it seemed to be very important. In that case, I'll invite some experts over tomorrow to discuss how to crack that phone. I hope we can find some clues from it. Okay, I'll participate and see if I can help, said Zhou Jiejia. Everyone was right. Wang Xiaoyan immediately found Yang Ming's master, Fang Tian. Fang Tian's residence wasn't confidential. Wang Xiaoyan had always known about it. Fang Tian had now washed his hands and was living a leisurely old life. He didn't need to live in seclusion. Moreover, even if his enemies came to him, there were too few people who could kill Fang Tian. Yan Yan, why are you here? When Wang Xiaoyan came, Fang Tian was watering the flowers on the balcony. His daily life was like this. When he saw Wang Xiaoyan, Fang Tian's face suddenly showed a smile. Fang Tian had no children in his life. Although he had reconciled with Wang Ruoshui, both of them were so old. It was impossible to have another child. It was unrealistic. Therefore, Fang Tian treated Yang Ming as a son. His apprentice was similar to a child, and Wang Xiaoyan was like his daughter-in-law. What's more, she was the niece of his wife, Wang Ruoshui. It was even closer. Wang Ruoshui also came to Songjiang City. At this moment, she was cooking for Fang Tian in the kitchen. Both of them had retired from the underworld. Naturally, they would no longer fight and kill. Instead, they lived a normal life. Their days were quite good. Uncle, I came here this time because I have something important to tell you. Wang Xiaoyan still called Fang Tian uncle. It was more intimate this way. Something important. What's the important thing? Fang Tian was stunned. Didn't Yang Ming leave already? What else do you have? In Fang Tian's view, the most important thing was that Yang Ming went to perform the mission. At this time, what could Wang Xiaoyan come to him for? Uncle, just a few days ago, Chen Mengyan received a courier. In the courier bag, there was a stack of photos. They were all photos of Yang Ming being intimate with different women. Wang Xiaoyan did not hide and said directly, of course, in these photos, I am also included. Oh. Someone actually sent this kind of thing to Chen Mengyan. Then, wouldn't your matter be exposed? Didn't you fight? Fang Tian was stunned. He didn't quite understand. Who did this? What was the purpose? Yang Ming had already left, and they actually played such a trick. Fang Tian's first thought was, could it be done by Yang Ming's love rival? Taking advantage of Yang Ming's absence to mess up Yang Ming's harem and make these girls lose confidence in Yang Ming, and then throw themselves into the arms of others. In fact, Fang Tian could only think of such a possibility. Otherwise, who would play such a trick after Yang Ming left? Wasn't it because they had nothing to do? They almost fought, but Yang Ming had a woman named Sun Jia who was very powerful. In a few words, this matter was made clear and made Chen Mengyan accept us. Wang Xiaoyan did not elaborate on the specific details because it was not important. In her opinion, the photos and the courier were the key. Now we are all living in Yang Ming's villa. Everyone's relationship is not bad. But the reason I'm here is to talk to you about the photos. Photos. You want to ask me the purpose of this person, or who did it? Fang Tian understood Wang Xiaoyan's meaning. However, I really don't quite understand. Who would make some photos to divide you after Yang Ming left? Was this done by Yang Ming's love rival? Uncle, the courier's delivery time was 10 days before Yang Ming left. That is to say, if there was no accident, the courier should have been delivered before Yang Ming left, but because this courier was slower, it delayed the delivery time. Chen Mengyan only received the courier after Yang Ming left. Wang Xiaoyan shook her head and said, "This is different. The time chosen by this person was just before Yang Ming left, that is to say, this person wanted to create some trouble for Yang Ming so that he couldn't leave, or leave when he was upset." Fang Tian said directly. Chapter 2052. That's right. This is also the conclusion we came to after our unanimous analysis. Wang Xiaoyan nodded and said, "Uncle, from the surface, the person who doesn't want Yang Ming to leave the most should be Elder Yu's people. Yang Ming's action this time is most directly related to Elder Yu. If he wants to stop Yang Ming, I really can't think of anyone else besides him." Continue. Fang Tian nodded and signaled Wang Xiaoyan to continue. However, the only suspicious point is that many of these photos were taken nearly a year ago. At that time, the conflict between Yang Ming and Elder Yu had not been established yet. Why did Elder Yu want to deal with Yang Ming? Could it be that he has the ability to predict the future? Wang Xiaoyan said with some doubts, taking a step back. Even if Yang Ming is the son-in-law of Lan Miao village and Lan Ling's boyfriend, Yang Ming didn't show any dangerous characteristics at that time. How did Elder Yu's people notice Yang Ming? So, you think that this person shouldn't be Elder Yu's people, right? Fang Tian nodded and asked. Yes, uncle, I think so. I think this person shouldn't be Elder Yu's people, but this incident happened at this time. It's too much of a coincidence. I really can't figure out what other connections there are in this. Yes, uncle. Wang Xiaoyan said, "This is also the reason why I came to discuss with you. I want to ask you, does Yang Ming have other enemies?" There must be other enemies, but this matter may not have nothing to do with Elder Yu. The enemy of an enemy is a friend. These two people are Yang Ming's enemies. Can't they cooperate? Fang Tian said with a smile, "Your judgment is right. These are two groups of people, but in my opinion, they may have reached some kind of agreement and cooperated." Ah! After Wang Xiaoyan heard Fang Tian's words, she suddenly exclaimed in surprise, "Yes, they can cooperate. Why didn't I think of that before?" Wang Xiaoyan's previous considerations were indeed somewhat limited. She always assumed that the enemy was Elder Yu. She continued to infer from Elder Yu. Was this Elder Yu's doing? But fortunately, I have to thank this express delivery company. If they didn't delay the time, I'm afraid that Yang Ming would really be delayed here. Since Elder Yu wanted to delay Yang Ming so much, it shows that he has no choice now, or he doesn't have full confidence to deal with Yang Ming, so he made this plan. It is a good time for Yang Ming to find trouble with Elder Yu now. Fang Tian said with a smile. Then, who is this person? Who wants to deal with Yang Ming? Wang Xiaoyan said with a solemn expression, "This person is very skilled. At the very least, the person in charge of following us is very skilled. To be able to hide from me and Yang Ming and take photos of us, I'm afraid he's not an ordinary person. And I have already seen through this. Fang Tian nodded. To be able to hide from Yang Ming and take so many photos, how terrifying is his qigong? Uncle, do you have an impression of such a person? In the nearby cities, there aren't many people who can have such skills, right? Asked Wang Xiaoyan. Indeed, there aren't many. Fang Tian nodded. Moreover, I also have a suspect. I have been observing these years. Although I can't be 100% sure that it is him, it should be close. Oh. You already have a suspect. Who is it? Wang Xiaoyan was a little surprised when she heard it. A murderous intent flashed in her eyes. I can't tell you for the time being. This person is not someone you can deal with. Fang Tian waved his hand and said faintly. How could he not see the murderous intent in Wang Xiaoyan's eyes? Wang Xiaoyan wanted to help Yang Ming kill this enemy, but Fang Tian couldn't let her take the risk. Not to mention that Wang Xiaoyan was Yang Ming's girlfriend. Even with the identity of Wang Ruoshui's niece, Fang Tian didn't dare to let her mess around. Even Fang Tian himself didn't have absolute confidence to deal with the forces behind that person. How could he let Wang Xiaoyan take the risk? Why? Is this person very powerful? Wang Xiaoyan was shocked. Fang Tian said so, which meant that this person was very troublesome. And I haven't figured out his details, or the forces behind him. He is just a small character. If I want to kill him, it will only take a second. No matter how good his qigong is, he can't escape from my palm. Fang Tian nodded and said. Is there any force behind that person? Asked Wang Xiaoyan in surprise. Yes. Said Fang Tian. So, I haven't touched him in these years. Instead, I have been watching. It's also because of old feelings. I hope he can take the initiative to tell me this. What do you mean? Wang Xiaoyan was confused. She didn't know what Fang Tian meant. What did he mean by watching all these years? Did Fang Tian know the existence of this person before? Moreover, he still cared about old feelings. Doesn't that mean that Fang Tian and this person know each other and seem to have some friendship? It's nothing. In short, you don't have to worry about this matter first. For the time being, he shouldn't pose any threat to Yang Ming. Fang Tian waved his hand and smiled. Since you have already lived in Yang Ming's villa, then you are responsible for taking care of Yang Ming's family. Help him take care of other women. Wang Xiaoyan shrugged and sighed. It's quite depressing to think about it. Who asked you to like Yang Ming? Fang Tian smiled disapprovingly. I gave you a chance to go back on your words. You didn't go back on your words. I didn't say that I wouldn't take care of him. I was just complaining. Wang Xiaoyan said helplessly, Okay, let's not talk about this. Yang Ming and my situation are different. Since you accepted him, then you have to accept everything about him. Fang Tian said, Okay, I won't be involved in your matters. As for the enemy you mentioned, I know. He only knows these petty tricks. Don't worry too much about it. Just take those photos as a memento of you and Yang Ming. Hang them up when you get home so that you don't have to take them yourself. It's a beautiful memory. Wang Xiaoyan smiled. That's fine. Uncle, then I will go back first. Wait, your aunt is cooking in the kitchen. Why don't you stay for dinner tonight? Fang Tian invited. No, my family is still waiting for my news. I'd better go back. Wang Xiaoyan shook her head. That's fine too. But you should say hello to your aunt. Fang Tian smiled slightly. Perhaps Wang Xiaoyan didn't know that she had integrated into Yang Ming's family and began to care about other people's thoughts. Chapter 2053. After greeting her aunt, Wang Xiaoyan left Fang Tian's residence. Although Wang Ruoxue tried to urge Wang Xiaoyan to stay for dinner, Wang Xiaoyan still refused after hesitating because Chen Mengyan and the others were waiting for her news in the villa. Sure enough, after Wang Xiaoyan returned, she saw Chen Mengyan, Sun Jia, and others sitting on the sofa. The table was full of food, but no one ate. Instead, they waited for her to come back. This made Wang Xiaoyan feel a burst of warmth in her heart. It seemed that everyone had unknowingly integrated into this group. Because of Yang Ming's matter, everyone had become unusually united. At this time, their thoughts were on Yang Ming's enemy. As for other personal battles, they were a bit insignificant. I'm back. Why aren't you eating? Wang Xiaoyan changed her shoes and walked into the living room. We're waiting for you. Chen Mengyan smiled slightly. You were busy with Yang Ming's matter. How can we eat first? I'm not very busy. Thank you. Wang Xiaoyan didn't have many friends before. She had never had such a feeling. At this time, she suddenly had a feeling of hot tears. What are you thanking me for? Chen Mengyan smiled and said, well, let's eat first. Tell me about your situation while eating. Wang Xiaoyan nodded. She couldn't bear to let others wait for too long. She quickly took off her coat and sat at the table. The others also sat down one after another. Let's talk while eating. We're all a family. You don't have to be too polite. Chen Mengyan said and took the initiative to eat first. It's better for everyone to be more casual in the future. Yang Ming will be happy to see this when he comes back. It had to be said that under Sun Jia's influence, Chen Mengyan gradually had some of the demeanor of a big shot. She no longer cared about some small things. Okay. Wang Xiaoyan was also hungry, so she ate without hesitation. She said while eating, today, I asked Yang Ming's master about this enemy. Yang Ming's master and I both think that this person is not Elder Yu, but a collaborator of Elder Yu. He was originally an enemy of Yang Ming. These photos may not be for this matter. He just made preparations and planned to release them at the right time. However, he encountered such an opportunity. This person should be someone that Yang Ming's master knows. He said not to worry for the time being. I am here to protect everyone. And 1111. He won't do anything to us. Oh. Yang Ming's master knows this person? Sun Jia frowned. So, Yang Ming probably knows this person too. I don't know about this. Yang Ming's master didn't say. Wang Xiaoyan shook her head. He didn't let me intervene. This person is nothing. Yang Ming's master said that he can easily kill the other party, but the key problem is the power behind this person. I heard that it is relatively big. It's not that simple. I see. Sun Jia hesitated. Since Yang Ming's master doesn't let us intervene, then we won't intervene for the time being. He should have his reasons. Yes, and our safety depends on Yan Yan. Chen Mengyan smiled and said, sorry to trouble you. Don't let one of us die when Yang Ming comes back. It won't be fun, don't worry. I will do my best. Wang Xiaoyan smiled. She knew that Chen Mengyan said this to hint that she should let go of the previous grievances and focus on Yang Ming's matter. However, Wang Xiaoyan was not a person who held grudges, and this was not considered a grudge. Everyone had lived together for a few days, so it was easy to develop feelings. Next, it depends on Sister Xiaoqing and Jia. If we can decrypt the phone as soon as possible, we may find some key clues. Chen Mengyan said. We will try our best. Xiao Qing and Zhou Jiejia also nodded and said. The storm in Songjiang City, under Sun Jie's efforts and Chen Mengyan's reasoning, finally passed peacefully. The result was much better than Yang Ming's expectations. These people united together, twisted their hearts, and fought against the enemy together. The behind-the-scenes boss did not expect this. However, the delivery missed the time. Whether or not it could produce any effect, and what effect it would produce, the behind-the-scenes boss did not care much. Even if Yang Ming turned the sky upside down, what was the use of it? The behind-the-scenes boss sat quietly in front of the computer and communicated with Dr. Benjamin. How is it? Is there still no news of the little girl? Sun Sikong hasn't been found. Asked Benjamin. Seeing Dr. Benjamin's question, the behind-the-scenes boss's heart suddenly had a struggle for the first time. He didn't want to say it. Yes, he really didn't want to say it. The words of his sister, Alice, were still echoing in his ears. Yes, I can completely not regard Yang Ming as an enemy, but as a collaborator, can't I? If I ask Yang Ming for help, Yang Ming should not refuse me, right? With my current strength, it is impossible to fight with Dr. Benjamin. The behind-the-scenes boss does not believe that I have such great ability. Therefore, even if I don't think for myself, I have to think for my sister, Alice. If I can live a normal life, what a wonderful thing it would be. In fact, the behind-the-scenes boss found the news of Suya. He really saw Suya, the girl he had been looking for many years again. This time, before Yang Ming left, the behind-the-scenes boss personally followed and took photos. He took photos of Yang Ming and Suya's every move at the beach. At that time, he did not pay attention to anything, but when he returned home and looked at the photos carefully, he felt that the girl next to Yang Ming was somewhat unfamiliar, yet somewhat familiar. She looked unfamiliar because Falcon had never seen such a woman around Yang Ming. The reason why she looked familiar was that Falcon suddenly discovered that this girl looked very similar to Suya, whom he had been looking for. After finding the previous photos of Suya for comparison, Falcon was pleasantly surprised to find that the two were very similar. Except for the fact that she had grown up and was beautiful, the two were simply carved from the same mold. After discovering this news, Falcon wanted to use this news as a bargaining chip to negotiate with Dr. Benjamin. He wanted to leave the organization as a condition, and then he would throw out this important news. However, Falcon was not an idiot. He was a very cautious person. Before negotiating with Dr. Benjamin, he first contacted several old people in the central organization through his own connections. Intentionally or unintentionally, he asked them if there was a precedent of successfully leaving because of meritorious service. The result was very disappointing to Falcon. Chapter 2054. Although Falcon asked very vaguely, he also found out some of the information he wanted to know. The answer was no. Anyone who tried to leave Central, regardless of whether they had contributed or not, would receive the most severe punishment from Central. This made Falcon's heart turn cold all of a sudden. He originally thought that he had made a great contribution and could retire, but he did not expect that his thoughts were just wishful thinking. Those who wanted to betray the Central were nowhere to be found. Some said that they were captured by Dr. Benjamin and put into the laboratory to be used for experiments. Some said that they were killed by the experts sent by Dr. Benjamin. In short, these people had all disappeared. Falcon felt a chill in his heart when he heard this. Although he had long known that Central was a terrible organization, he did not expect that he and his sister would be sold to Central for the rest of their lives. There were no illusions, and there was no luck. Compared to those who had contributed to Central, what was he? He was just a small chess piece under Dr. Benjamin. He was not even a core member. No one knew how much power Dr. Benjamin had. In short, it was not something that the current Falcon could compete with. So, after Dr. Benjamin asked this question, Falcon was a little hesitant. He was hesitant about whether he should tell him what he knew. If he said it, it meant that there was no possibility of restoring his relationship with Yang Ming. After fighting with Yang Ming for so long, Falcon was very clear about Yang Ming's character. Even if you did many wrong things, if you did not cross Yang Ming's bottom line, then Yang Ming might forgive you. Yang Ming's subordinates, Bai Hai and Guo Jianchao, were not Yang Ming's enemies in the past. Now they had become Yang Ming's subordinates. This showed that Yang Ming was not a person who held grudges. At least, as long as it was not too much, Yang Ming might forgive them. Even the women around Yang Ming, such as Zhou Jiejia and Jing Xiaolu, were hated by Yang Ming in the past. But later, didn't he accept them? Therefore, Falcon was more convinced that if he confessed to Yang Ming about his wrongdoings and asked to cooperate with him, then Yang Ming would accept 80% of it. The most important thing was that Yang Ming was a nostalgic person, so this made Falcon more confident. Yang Ming's bottom line, in Falcon's view, was not to touch his family and friends. This was Yang Ming's bottom line. Yang Ming's women were naturally considered as Yang Ming's relatives. Therefore, once he revealed the news of Suya's whereabouts to Dr. Benjamin would definitely take action against Suya next. In this way, it was equivalent to completely breaking off relations with Yang Ming. Yang Ming would definitely fight to the death with him. It seemed impossible to reconcile with him after touching Yang Ming's women. Therefore, Falcon hesitated, gritted his teeth, and typed a few words on the internet as if he had made a major decision. There is no news yet. I feel that these people are no longer in Songjiang City. After clicking send and seeing that the message was sent to Dr. Benjamin, Falcon breathed a sigh of relief, and his expression became a little relaxed. He had always been unable to make this decision, but this time, Falcon chose to deceive for the first time. Although this was only the beginning, it also meant that Falcon's heart had loosened a little. Perhaps he would not immediately find Yang Ming to discuss cooperation, but at least now it was clear that he was leaving a way out for himself. Falcon was now waiting to see if Yang Ming could successfully return safely from the mission in Yunnan. If Yang Ming had the ability to solve the problem of Elder Yu and return to Songjiang City safely, then Falcon did not mind cooperating with him. After all, this had proven that Yang Ming had very powerful strength and ability. However, if Yang Ming could not return safely, then everything would become meaningless. Now, Falcon could not offend Dr. Benjamin. He could only take one step at a time and be careful. He could not let Dr. Benjamin find out that he already had the intention of betraying him in his heart. I think so too, but don't take it lightly. Continue to monitor. Dr. Benjamin did not think much about it. After all, there had been no news for so many years. In his opinion, the possibility of these two people not being in Songjiang City was still higher, so he did not doubt Falcon's words. Okay, Doctor, I will continue to pay attention, Falcon replied. How is Yang Ming's matter? Dr. Benjamin asked. He has gone to Yunnan to perform a mission. Elder Yu asked me to delay Yang Ming's time. I have tried my best, but I did not succeed, said Falcon. Don't worry about Yang Ming's matter. I know you are a little unhappy with him, but personal grievances should not affect Central's major events. Dr. Benjamin said, okay, that's it for now. After that, Dr. Benjamin ended the conversation with Falcon. Falcon looked at the interrupted computer screen and breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he successfully avoided it. Dr. Benjamin did not suspect him. Yang Ming entered the jungle of Miaojiang early in the morning. This time, the people responsible for intercepting Yang Ming were a few arrogant people from Abnormal Miao Village. They thought that Abnormal Miao Village was already the second largest village in Miaojiang, so they were arrogant and did not put anyone in their eyes. The person leading the team was called Wang Xiaosu, a small leader of Abnormal Meow Village. In his opinion, it was easy to use a little voodoo poison to kill outsiders like Yang Ming. "Captain, which direction are we going now?" After entering the Miaojiang jungle, everyone had no sense of direction. There were dense jungles everywhere. It seemed that they could not see where elder you would be in this forest. First, take the compass and look at the direction. Follow the direction we came in and walk in a straight line. Yang Ming also had no purpose in mind. Although he had telescopic vision, X-ray vision, and 360-degree vision abilities, which could quickly find some distant targets, this Miaojiang jungle was too big. Yang Ming had a feeling that he did not know where to start. Even if Yang Ming did nothing and sat on the ground to scan the distance with himself as the center, he might not be able to find the target in a short time. Of course, this was also the last and most helpless method. If he really could not find the target, then he could only find the target in this way. Okay. Lu Yezi and others naturally did not know what Yang Ming was thinking. What they had to do now was to execute Yang Ming's orders. In fact, Yang Ming walked in with the purpose of probing. It was best to wait for the people of Abnormal Meow Village to take the initiative to find him, instead of himself looking for them. Chapter 2055. Everyone, slow down. Just treat it as a sightseeing trip. Yang Ming was waiting for the enemy to come to him. Naturally, he wouldn't walk too fast to make the enemy lose sight of their target. It was best to stand in the open so that he could attract the enemy. Sightseeing trip. Xia Shui was stunned. "You came here to play." "I didn't have time to come out to play before. It's rare to have such a good scenery. It's a pity not to relax, right?" Yang Ming smiled. "Especially Tianlong and Susu. Just treat it as your honeymoon." "Hee hee." Feng Tianlong scratched his head and smiled happily. Xiao Susu blushed and looked at Yang Ming shyly. However, because Yang Ming was the captain, she couldn't say much. Moreover, her relationship with Feng Tianlong had become a fact. This time, Xiao Susu was prepared to die for this mission. She didn't have any scruples like before. Besides, Feng Tianlong broke away from his family for her and signed up for this mission without hesitation. It was enough to see Feng Tianlong's thoughts. Why would Xiao Susu hesitate? "Hey, Yang Ming, are you here for a mission or to play?" Xia Shui was a little unhappy. Previously, she thought that Yang Ming was very powerful and organized. However, she didn't expect that Yang Ming would be completely different once he entered the Miaojiang forest. "Xia Shui, why are you so agitated?" Yang Ming looked at Xia Shui and couldn't help but smile. "What we need to do now is to wait for the enemy to come to us. We don't need to look for the enemy. How difficult is it to find a person in this vast Miaojiang forest? Therefore, I am afraid that the enemy will lose their target, so I brought everyone here for sightseeing. This way, the target will be bigger and it will be easier for the enemy to find us. Isn't it?" "So that's the case." Xia Shui heard Yang Ming's words and suddenly blushed. It turned out that she misunderstood Yang Ming. Xia Shui felt a little embarrassed. Yes, Yang Ming was right. Why am I so stupid? Sigh, I'm the only newbie in this experience. I better not drag Yang Ming down. The scenery here is not bad. Shall we take a picture together? Yang Ming took out his mobile phone. This was a mobile phone provided by the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, and the quality of the camera was top-notch. Yang Ming used it as a tool for sightseeing and taking photos. Sure. Xia Shui understood Yang Ming's plan, so naturally, she had no other thoughts. She began to take the initiative to cooperate with Yang Ming. Moreover, in her heart, she actually wanted to take some photos with Yang Ming. She didn't know when this feeling in her heart was born. Her good impression of Yang Ming was getting stronger and stronger, especially this time when they came out to perform the mission. After seeing Yang Ming's powerful skills and calm mind, Xia Shui liked Yang Ming even more. It wasn't as simple as a long-term meal ticket that was initially a joke. Feng Tianlong and Xiao Susu were a couple, and Yang Ming and Xia Shui were also a couple, so the task of taking photos naturally fell to Lu Yezi. He was alone. It was enough to take a few photos as a souvenir. There was no need to take endless photos. Although the scenery here was beautiful, it was basically the same. From this angle, it was a forest. From that angle, it was still a forest. No matter how many photos were taken, it was still a forest. It was meaningless to take too many photos. However, it was different for couples. Different actions meant different things. At this moment, Feng Tianlong was trying to put his arm around Xiao Susu's waist. This kind of bold action had never been done before. Although both of them tacitly agreed that they were in a relationship, Xiao Susu had a knot in her heart and didn't go further with Feng Tianlong. But now, they were already at this stage. If their relationship didn't go further, they might not have a chance in the future. So after Xiao Susu glanced at Feng Tianlong, she tacitly agreed to his carelessness. Feng Tianlong was so happy that his nose was about to turn crooked. He was very grateful to Yang Ming. Captain was so good. Not only did he lead everyone to carry out the mission, but he also led the team to pick up girls. He was such a good person. So Feng Tianlong became bolder and bolder. At first, he put his arm around Xiao Susu's waist, then he put his arm around her waist and even took a few photos of them kissing. This made Feng Tianlong so happy that he would laugh in his dreams tonight. On the other hand, Yang Ming's side was much more serious. Yang Ming did have a good impression of Xia Shui, but Yang Ming felt that they weren't close enough yet. This kind of thing had to be done step by step. It couldn't be done in one go, right? Feng Tianlong and Xiao Susu's situation was a bit special. Moreover, both of them had been in an ambiguous relationship for so long. It was naturally different from his relationship with Xia Shui. Of course, Xia Shui didn't say anything. Deep in her heart, she was actually a conservative woman. If Yang Ming really became lustful toward her all of a sudden, she didn't know what to do. So, letting nature take its course was the best result. So, these 5 people were like tourists who came here to play. They began to take photos and videos here. In the end, they simply sat on the ground and prepared to have a picnic in the jungle. Wang Xiaosu brought a few people to the edge of the Miaojiang jungle and quickly found Yang Ming's group. Although Wang Xiaosu was arrogant, he didn't go forward directly. Instead, he waited near Yang Ming's group to see what Yang Ming's group was capable of. But after waiting for a while, he saw that Yang Ming's group was either taking photos or having a picnic. It seemed that they weren't here to perform a mission at all, but to play here. Fuck, do I need to go personally with these people? Wang Xiaosu saw the performance of Yang Ming's group and suddenly felt depressed. What kind of people are these people? They are simply a group of motley crew. Aren't they too weak? They don't look like they are here to perform a mission. They are completely here to play. These people can't be here to play in the name of attacking Elder Yu, right? The more he thought about it, the more Wang Xiaosu felt that it was possible. Otherwise, these people had been taking photos and chatting on the edge of the jungle for a whole day. They didn't even have the intention to go deep into the jungle. Boss, what should we do now? Are these people really so weak? Is there any conspiracy? One of Wang Xiaosu's men also looked at Yang Ming's group with some doubts. Didn't they say that these people were very powerful? Even Elder Yu didn't dare to face them directly and let the people of mutated Miao village delay the time. I also feel a little puzzled. Wang Xiaosu nodded and said, why don't we wait and see? Alright, then let's wait and see. The underling also nodded and agreed. He wasn't sure if there was anything wrong with this. In short, it was very strange. Chapter 2056. When Wang Xiaosu heard his underling say so, he felt that this matter was weird. Aren't these people here to deal with Elder Yu? Why are they here? Could it be that they got the wrong person? This group of people are obviously tourists and not the people they are here to deal with. In fact, when Wang Xiaosu came here, Yang Ming had already noticed it. However, after looking at the dialogue of these people, Yang Ming knew that these people were not important people. They were just some small fries, so Yang Ming did not bother with them for the time being. He wanted to see if there were more big shots appearing later. However, after waiting for a long time, he didn't see any other people coming to help. These people were still guarding there. Yang Ming knew that there wouldn't be any more important people coming. These people were probably sent by the leader of the abnormal Miao village to test their strength. Therefore, after Yang Ming played for a while, he was ready to make a move on these people. I'm going to the toilet. You guys take pictures first. Yang Ming said to Xia Shui, Feng Tianlong, and the others. Okay. Xia Shui didn't care. She just nodded to Yang Ming. Yang Ming, on the other hand, sneaked into the jungle at the side. Boss, that kid is alone. This is a good opportunity for us to make a move. We can choose to make a move on him now. Wang Xiaosu's underling saw Yang Ming going to the toilet and suddenly said excitedly. Oh. That's true. Then let's catch him and ask him first to see if they are Yang Ming's group. If they are, we will kill them directly. They are just a bunch of motley crew. Wang Xiaosu nodded and said, You go and find them. This underling nodded. This was a good opportunity to make a contribution. After he accepted the order, he quickly chased in the direction where Yang Ming left. In terms of the familiarity of this jungle, no one was more familiar with it than the people who lived here. Therefore, in this underling's opinion, it was easy to catch Yang Ming. However, when he walked leisurely to the position where Yang Ming hid before, he didn't see Yang Ming's figure. Hey! Where did this brat go? The subordinate was slightly taken aback and looked around. This brat, walking so far just to pee, isn't there something wrong with him? This forest is very dense. Even if we were nearby, we wouldn't be able to see anything. The subordinate scratched his head in confusion, but when he was puzzled, he suddenly felt a pain in the back of his neck, as if he had been hit by something. Just as he was about to scream, his mouth was covered by someone, and then he didn't know what happened. Yang Ming looked coldly at Wang Xiaosu's subordinate. There was no sympathy in his eyes. Wang Xiaosu was his enemy, so it was fine to kill him. Yang Ming didn't even have the intention to ask him questions. He was just a small fry with no value. He simply searched his body. Except for a bag of voodoo, he didn't find anything else. The voodoo was also the lowest level of voodoo, and the voodoo antidote pill could easily solve it. Yang Ming shook his head and turned to walk in Wang Xiaosu's direction. Wang Xiaosu was still waiting for his subordinate to come back. After waiting for a long time, he suddenly became impatient. Where did this brat go? I've been waiting for so long. Why didn't he come back? Hey, boss, maybe the brat just went to poop. He thought it was smelly, so he waited for a while. Another subordinate analyzed. Possible. Wang Xiaosu nodded immediately after listening. The brat just said that he was going to the toilet, so he must have gone to poop. Fortunately, I didn't go personally, or else I would be smelly to death. Do you think it's a lot? No one answered. I'm asking you a question. Why is there no movement? Wang Xiaosu was stunned and shouted inexplicably. Who are you looking for? Do you want to talk to me? Yang Ming stood behind Wang Xiaosu and asked faintly. Wang Xiaosu was shocked. How did this become an unfamiliar voice? And this voice is a little familiar. Isn't this? Wang Xiaosu turned his head and was shocked. You, how did you come behind me? Didn't Little Gong go to catch you? Little Gong. Which one? I don't know him, but there was a person who came to me sneakily just now. I killed him. Yang Ming said. Killed? Wang Xiaosu was shocked. Are you really an agent, not a tourist? Are you the person Elder Yu wants to deal with? Wrong, I'm the person who wants to deal with Elder Yu. Yang Ming corrected him with a smile. Okay, you can die now. Wait. Wang Xiaosu didn't expect that he really underestimated the enemy. The person in front of him was not a tourist at all, but he used the illusion of a tourist to confuse him. The person in front of him was like a wolf in sheep's clothing, tricking him unknowingly. Wang Xiaosu knew that he was not the opponent of the person in front of him at all, so he shouted in a hurry to ask the person to wait. Oh. Do you have anything else to say? Yang Mingjun stopped and looked at Wang Xiaosu with a faint smile. Don't you want to deal with Elder Yu? Asked Wang Xiaosu. So what if I do? Yang Ming nodded. Then do you want to know where Elder Yu is? Wang Xiaosu was obviously stalling for time. He wanted to use voodoo to deal with Yang Ming. He was not the opponent of Yang Ming in a head-on fight, but using voodoo was his specialty. Do you know? Yang Ming looked at Wang Xiaosu and asked with ridicule. As Wang Xiaosu said this, he paused and suddenly raised his hand to Yang Ming, then said quickly, I don't know. If you don't know, why are you talking so much nonsense? Yang Ming still asked calmly. Ha 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 ha, fool, I'm stalling for time. Don't you know? Wang Xiaosu saw that his evil plan was successful, and suddenly laughed. Now, do you feel hot all over and dizzy? Do you feel like you are going to faint? Oh. Faint? Yang Ming was stunned, and then said, I think so, right? You have been poisoned by my unique voodoo. You will faint and die soon. Hee, you fool, don't you want to know the news of Elder Yu? You can inquire about it after you become a ghost. Wang Xiaosu looked at Yang Ming very proudly. This person is simply a fool. Wahahaha, I actually killed him so easily. Die. I am a little dizzy, but it has nothing to do with death, right? Yang Ming blinked with some doubts. Don't you understand? I have already put voodoo in your body. You are going to die. Wang Xiaosu was a little depressed. Why can't this person understand? It's just that this jungle is too hot. I am so hot that I am going to get heatstroke, so I feel like fainting. What does this have to do with voodoo? Yang Ming asked with a smile. Chapter 2057. You are a fool. You are poisoned with voodoo. What heatstroke? Wang Xiaosu was going crazy. Why doesn't this person have any self-awareness? Obviously, he is poisoned with voodoo, but he doesn't know it. He is like a fool. Oh, I am suffering from heatstroke, not voodoo. Yang Ming nodded. I know. You don't need to remind me. Damn. Why are you so brainless? You are now poisoned with my voodoo. You are going to die soon. Do you understand? Wang Xiaosu was anxious and explained to Yang Ming, Die, don't move. That's it. Wu, you will die, as Wang Xiaosu said, he also gestured a death action with a death expression. Oh, you mean, you are going to die soon, right? Yang Ming nodded with understanding. It's you. Not me. Wang Xiaosu was really a little depressed. Is there such a stupid person in the world? Oh, then you tell me. When will I die? Yang Ming finally nodded as if he understood Wang Xiaosu's words. Who? Wang Xiaosu finally breathed a sigh of relief. He thought, you finally understand, so he explained, generally speaking, people who are poisoned with my voodoo will faint to the ground within a minute. If the voodoo is not removed within 10 minutes, they will die. Oh, how long has it been now? Asked Yang Ming. It has passed now. Why haven't you fainted yet? It has been so long now. You should have died long ago, right? Wang Xiaosu was stunned, and his face suddenly became a little ugly. Why haven't you died yet? Shouldn't I ask you this? The person who poisoned you is you, not me. If you ask me, how would I know? Said Yang Ming innocently. This shouldn't be. How is it possible? Wang Xiaosu frowned and looked at Yang Ming with a puzzled look. So, I said early on that you are going to die, not me. Yang Ming said, well, you can pretend to woo again, and then you will die. Impossible. Wang Xiaosu just wanted to argue, but he didn't say it. His eyes rolled back, and he fell to the ground without a sound. Of course, Yang Ming used invisible flying needles to kill Wang Xiaosu with flying needles. After killing Wang Xiaosu, Yang Ming turned and walked in the direction of Xia Shui and the others, without looking back. At this time, next to Wang Xiaosu, one of the underlings who were killed by Yang Ming suddenly covered the back of his neck and groaned softly. Then he opened his eyes and looked around. He carefully stood up and checked the breathing of Wang Xiaosu and the others. When he found that there was no movement, he quickly walked into the depths of the jungle in shock. When this person walked away, Yang Ming's mouth showed a sneer. As an assassin, Yang Ming couldn't make such a low-level mistake. Killing and not killing, especially for an ordinary person, it was impossible for such a situation to happen. Not to mention the king of assassins like Yang Ming, even in the assassin organization, any assassin with a little experience would not make such a low-level mistake. The purpose of Yang Ming's action was obviously intentional. He deliberately left one alive. Previously, Yang Ming and Wang Xiaosu's conversation was actually to confuse this person who was not dead. Otherwise, with Yang Ming's skill, killing this guy was just a matter of minutes. There was no need to waste so much time talking nonsense with him. The reason why Yang Ming did this was to let the underling who was not dead see that Yang Ming didn't care about Wang Xiaosu's low-level voodoo. This voodoo had no effect on Yang Ming. However, Yang Ming was able to kill Wang Xiaosu in seconds without a sound after Wang Xiaosu cast the goo. This was the message that Yang Ming wanted to pass to the chief of Abnormal Miao Village through the underling who was not dead. Yang Ming had two plans. First, he would secretly follow this underling who was not dead and see if he could directly return to the camp of Abnormal Miao Village to report to the chief of Abnormal Miao Village. This way, Yang Ming could follow the clues and find the chief of Abnormal Miao Village directly. Second, if this underling did not go directly to the chief of Abnormal Miao Village but passed the message back through other means, then Yang Ming would not be worried. As long as the chief of Abnormal Miao Village received the news, he would not send some weak people to die the next time. For safety reasons, the chief of Abnormal Miao Village might personally lead a team to deal with him. This was also what Yang Ming wanted. He did not need to go to the chief of Abnormal Miao Village, but he could let the chief of Abnormal Miao Village find him. Yang Ming's two plans were flawless. No matter what, he could lure out the chief of Abnormal Miao Village. Yang Ming quickly walked back to where Xia Shui and the rest were. He quickly said, "Gather. Follow me." These members were all well trained after all. They were still fooling around a second before Yang Ming came back. The next second, they quickly packed their bags and followed behind Yang Ming neatly, walking into the depths of the forest. Previously, there were a few people from the mutated Meow village who came to spy on us. I killed them all, but I left one alive. Now, I'm following this survivor to see if I can find the base camp of the mutated Meow village and directly capture the village chief. Yang Ming hurriedly explained the action plan to everyone. Xia Shui, Feng Tianlong, Lu Yezi and the rest were shocked. They did not expect Yang Ming to accomplish so many things while he went to the toilet. Then, did Yang Ming really go to the toilet? I am afraid that Yang Ming is going to do this, right? It was just that he was afraid of being detected by the people of abnormal Meow village, so he used the excuse of going to the toilet. Thinking of this, everyone was very ashamed. At that time, everyone was together. Only Yang Ming discovered the enemy, but the others did not notice anything. If the enemy really came to find them, the consequences would be unimaginable. Seeing everyone's silent expression, Yang Ming naturally knew what these people were thinking. He couldn't help but smile slightly and said, "Everyone, don't blame yourselves. In fact, I also used my special ability. These people are still far away from us. It's normal that you didn't notice. I was wondering why my jade pendant didn't respond. It turns out that these people are far away." Lu Yezi suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. He thought that there was a problem. So, if I didn't use my special ability, I wouldn't have discovered these people so early. These people are good at jungle terrain and have binoculars. It is naturally much easier for them to spy on us than us spying on them, said Yang Ming. Chapter 2058. Although he was talking, Yang Ming's footsteps did not stop at all. Yang Ming, Lu Yezi, and the other three followed behind the escaping subordinate. No matter how the escaping subordinate hid, it was useless in Yang Ming's eyes. The jungle was a good place for ordinary people to hide. As long as they walked out of a certain distance, the people behind them would not be able to catch up even if they wanted to. The terrain made it impossible for the tracker to follow. Therefore, the subordinate who was walking in front stopped running after running for a distance. Instead, he maintained a uniform pace and walked forward. In his opinion, Yang Ming and the others would never be able to catch up with them. However, Yang Ming was following behind these people at a moderate pace. Of course, this subordinate was still very clever. Every time he walked a distance, he would look back. After he found that there was nothing unusual, he continued to move forward. However, Yang Ming was far away from him. If he could see Yang Ming, he would need to have the same special ability as Yang Ming. Obviously, this subordinate was a person who often walked in the jungle. He did not feel tired even after walking for a long distance. If Yang Ming and the others were not people who had undergone strict training, they would not be able to catch up with this subordinate at this moment. However, it was not surprising. In the jungle of Miaojiang, there were trees everywhere. It was impossible to drive. Besides walking, there was really no other means of transportation to rely on. Even people like the chief of the abnormal Meow village and Elder Yu could only rely on themselves unless they used a helicopter. However, it was a little troublesome. After walking for about 3 hours, a village appeared not far from the subordinate. It should be the abnormal Meow village. The village covered a large area. It was the size of a small town. However, the village was also full of bungalows. The best one was a 2-story wooden building. It was a bit like a primitive society. There were no high-rise buildings. This was probably the custom here. However, to be able to build such a village, it was enough to show the rapid development of the abnormal Meow village. This was because although the buildings in the village were only 1-story or 2-story bungalows, they were built beautifully. If they were placed in the city, they would be like villas. At the entrance of the village, there were a few people guarding. However, when the subordinate passed by, they only questioned him a little and let him go. Obviously, they knew him. After following him here, Yang Ming could not go forward. After all, Yang Ming and the others could see that they were strangers at a glance. If they did not force their way in, they would not be able to enter smoothly. "Captain, what should we do?" When Yang Ming brought everyone to the vicinity of the village, Feng Tianlong and the others also understood that the subordinate had entered the village. "Let's wait here, he can't run away." When Yang Ming saw this situation, he wasn't in a hurry. He just stopped and found a place where he could hide. The trees were denser, and he sat down. "You're right. If this subordinate reports to their fort master, that fort master Ku might come personally. We'll just wait here for him to show up." The subordinate naturally thought that Yang Ming did not know that he was still alive. He ran to the chief's door in a hurry and was stopped by one of the chief's confidants. "What are you doing here?" "Medicine bro, I was sent by the chief to carry out a mission. Our entire team was wiped out and I was the only one who escaped. I have to report to the chief immediately," the subordinate quickly said. "In that case, you can wait for a while." Medicine bro did not seem to care about what the subordinate said. He looked up and said to the subordinate, "Wait for a while, I don't know if the chief has time to see you." As someone close to the chief, Brother Medicine was usually very arrogant. He did not care about the other people in the Hmong village at all. After he finished speaking, he did not walk in. He just continued to stand there and ignored the subordinate. The subordinate saw that Medicine Bro was not going to inform the chief and became anxious. "Medicine Bro, this is an emergency. Why don't you inform the chief?" "Fuck. I will go if I want to, do I need you to remind me? Who do you think you are?" Medicine Bro was unhappy. He looked at the subordinate impatiently and said, "Go to the side and wait. Don't stand here and be an eyesore." "Medicine Bro, how can you be like this? I really have something important to do." The subordinate was helpless. Why was Medicine Bro like this? "The chief is resting now. What if I disturb him and he scolds me?" Medicine Bro was the gatekeeper, so he did not know that the chief had ordered another trusted subordinate to ask him to find someone to test Yang Ming. Therefore, Medicine Bro was as arrogant as usual to those who wanted to see the chief. If they did not get some benefits, they would not be able to enter the door. If you go, he won't scold you," the subordinate thought to himself. "How could he scold you when someone died? I say, you brat, are you a newcomer from another stronghold? Why don't you know the rules?" Medicine Bro was finally a little impatient. He stretched out a hand and said, "You asked me to inform the chief. Don't you know how to do something? Who would do something that does not benefit them? Who do you think you are?" You. The subordinate did not expect that he would have to give a reward when he had something so important to report to the chief. Medicine Bro was too evil, wasn't he? He was also a little anxious. "There is no reward. Do you want to go or not? I will wait here. If there is a delay, you will be responsible." As he said that, he stood to the side and did not care anymore. "Just go and wait, stupid bird." Medicine Bro curled his lips. He had seen many fools like this. They clamored to wait here. Just go and wait. After a day or two, they would automatically give in. When the time came, wouldn't they still obediently send him a gift and say a lot of good words? Therefore, Medicine Bro did not mind. He continued to guard the chief's door leisurely. The chief waited for a long time, but did not receive any report from the people he sent. Therefore, he asked his trusted subordinate worriedly, "Wang Xiaosu and the others have been gone for so long. Why is there still no news? Give them a call and ask them what is going on." In the Miaojiang forest, there were mobile phones. The abnormal Miao village was the closest to the outside, so the mobile phone signal could reach here. If they went further in, the mobile phone signal would be weaker and weaker. Yes, Chief. The subordinate nodded and dialed Wang Xiaosu's number. The call was connected immediately, but no one answered for a long time. After waiting for a long time, no one answered. Chapter 2059. The subordinate was confused. Why was Wang Xiaosu not picking up the phone? Leader, Wang Xiaosu is not picking up the phone. The subordinate dialed the number again and confirmed that Wang Xiaosu was not picking up the phone. Oh. Not picking up the phone. Leader Ku frowned. He had a bad feeling. How could Yang Ming and the others be so easy to deal with? He had said it before. If they were so easy to deal with, Elder Yu would have dealt with them himself. Why would he let the mutated Miao village deal with them? Could it be that they were all wiped out? He had sent these people to test the strength of Yang Ming and the others. If they were all wiped out, wouldn't he have sent them for nothing? If he did not get any information, it would mean that he had lost a few people for nothing. Yes, the call went through, but no one is picking up. I have dialed twice. The subordinate said with a serious expression. Do you have the others' numbers? Call them one by one and see if anyone is picking up. Leader Ku said. I have copied them down. I will call them now. The confidant nodded, then picked up the phone again and dialed the phone numbers of the other people one by one. However, after the call was connected, no one answered. 1, 2, 3. The calls were all connected, but no one answered. Leader Ku watched the subordinate make the calls. He saw that the subordinate would hang up after a while. He then made another call and hung up after a while. It was obvious that the situation was the same as before. No one picked up the phone, no one is picking up the phone. Leader Ku's heart was getting heavier and heavier. There was only one possibility in this situation. None of them could pick up the phone. Why couldn't they pick up the phone? They were probably dead. Otherwise, it was impossible for no one to pick up the phone. Hello? Hello? Are you Xiaoda? A joyous expression immediately appeared on the face of his trusted subordinate, because this call was actually answered by someone, and the owner of this phone number was a person called Xiaoda. It's me. Who is this? Xiaoda was waiting at the door when the call came in. I am Leader Ku's subordinate, Xiao Wan. Where are you? Where is Wang Xiaosu? What happened to you guys? Why didn't he answer the phone? The confidant named Xiao Wan asked quickly. Brother Wan, we were all wiped out. I was lucky enough to play dead. I am now standing in front of Leader Ku's room. But Medicine Bro, who is guarding the door, won't let me in. He even wants me to give him something. Xiaoda was getting impatient. He told Brother Wan everything that Medicine Bro had told him. What? Brother Wan was stunned. He did not expect that Xiao Ren was already standing in front of the master's door. It was only because Brother Yao wanted something from him that he could not enter. When Brother Wan heard this, he couldn't help but be furious. How could a gatekeeper be so arrogant? Even though Big Brother Medicine was Stockade Leader Ku's trusted aide, if he wasn't, why would Big Brother Medicine let him guard the door? But that was only in the eyes of outsiders. In the eyes of Brother Wan, Brother Medicine was just a small character. Even though he stood outside every day and acted like a big shot, in reality, he didn't even have a say in front of Leader Ku. Brother Wan, on the other hand, was Leader Ku's most trusted subordinate. He was the one who had the right to speak. Therefore, because of Big Brother Medicine, he and Leader Ku had been waiting here for so long. They had been worried for so long. Brother Wan was furious. He said, "Wait for me. I will go and pick you up." After that, Brother Wan hung up the phone. What happened? Leader Ku waited for Brother Wan to hang up the phone and asked. Leader, Xiaoda is back. He is at the door. But Medicine Bro, who is guarding the door, wants something from him. He won't let him in without notifying him. Brother Wan explained. What? Leader Ku opened his eyes wide. He had been worried for a long time. He did not expect that Xiaoda was already back in the stockade, and right in front of his door. How could he not be angry? Immediately, Leader Ku said angrily, let's go out together. I want to see how arrogant he is. How dare he ask for something in the name of guarding my door? Was he like this in the past? Well, I have heard about it, but I didn't take it seriously. I thought it was just a rumor. But now, it seems that it is true. Brother Wan nodded. In fact, it was not that he did not know about it before. He just did not take it seriously. They were all around Leader Ku. Even Brother Wan would accept some benefits from others to put in a good word for them in front of Leader Ku. That was why he did not say anything about others. But today, Big Brother Medicine happened to be in the line of fire. Today, he had to make an example out of him. Humph. Leader Ku snorted and walked out of the room first. He saw Big Brother Medicine, who did not know what to do, talking to Xiaoda. Xiaoda. Big Brother De, Master De, I beg you. I was wrong. Please don't tell Leader Ku about what happened before. If he asks you, just say it was a joke. Big Brother Medicine was really scared. He did not expect Brother Wan to call Xiaoda directly, and Xiaoda to tell Leader Ku about what happened before. One had to know that Brother Wan was the closest person to the master. He was hundreds of times stronger than Brother Yao. Therefore, if Brother Wan told the master about this, Brother Yao's position as a guard would come to an end. He might even be punished even more severely. His only hope now was to ask Xiaoda to change his words. If Xiaoda did not change his words, he would be done for. I will give you money. I will give you 100,000. Is that okay? Seeing that Xiaoda was not talking, Big Brother Medicine quickly offered him some benefits, 100,000. That's a lot. At this time, a cold laugh came from behind Big Brother Medicine. Big Brother Medicine did not have to turn around to know who it was. He was so scared that he sat on the ground. That was Leader Ku's voice. He could not be more familiar with it. Master. I was wrong. I was wrong. Please forgive me. I won't dare to do it again. Please let me go on account of my loyalty to you as a gatekeeper. Big Brother Medicine quickly begged for mercy with tears and snot running down his face. Lock him up. I will deal with him after I'm done with my business. Leader Ku did not have the mood to care about Big Brother Medicine. He waved his hand and asked someone to take Big Brother Medicine away. Then, he hurriedly turned to look at Xiaoda and asked, what's going on? Did you guys run into that Yang Ming? Why did you come back alone? Where are the others? Leader, all of our men were annihilated. That group of people was too strong. If it wasn't for the fact that I dodged when that guy attacked me, I would have fallen to the ground and pretended to be dead. That's how I survived. The rest of us were all killed by him. Xiaoda quickly explained the situation to Leader Ku in detail. Chapter 2060. Completely annihilated. Fort Leader Ku couldn't help but sigh. Although this news was a little sad, it was still within his expectations. Fort Leader Ku had already expected that Yang Ming's group would be so strong. Otherwise, why would Elder Yu ask him to deal with them? However, Wang Xiaosu and the others did not understand. They thought that these people were easy to deal with, so they volunteered to kill them. What was the result? Except for one person who was not killed, the others were all dead. Are you saying that Yang Ming is very good at martial arts? He can kill you with one strike. You don't even have a chance to fight back. Is that right? Camp Leader Ku asked. Yes. That's right. We didn't even have time to react before we were killed by him. His speed was too fast. We weren't his match at all. We weren't good at close combat either. Xiaoda nodded and said honestly. In other words, you didn't have time to use your Gu skills. You didn't have a chance because your opponent was too fast. Fort Leader Ku asked. Not really. Xiaoda shook his head and said, the person named Yang Ming doesn't seem to be afraid of voodoo. When he met Wang Xiaosu, he didn't make a move. Instead, he asked Wang Xiaosu a few questions. This gave Wang Xiaosu enough time to prepare. However, Wang Xiaosu's voodoo had no effect on him. He just waved his hand and killed Wang Xiaosu. Xiaoda and Wang Xiaosu were equals in the fort. When they were on a mission, Wang Xiaosu was the leader. However, when they were back in the fort, Xiaoda didn't call Wang Xiaosu leader. Instead, he called him by his name. Not afraid of Gu poison, as expected. Fort Leader Ku frowned and said, it seems that these people have some defensive measures. Normal Gu skills shouldn't work on them. That's right, I can be considered to have escaped death, so I quickly came back to report their news to Fort Master. Xiaoda nodded and said. Okay, you can go back first. The information you brought back this time is very useful. I will reward you. Fort Leader Ku waved his hand and sent Xiaoda away. When the time came, he would just let him be the leader. Fort Leader Ku's biggest problem now was how to deal with Yang Ming. Now, it seemed that he had to do it himself. Looking at the entire mutated Miao stockade, the only person who was slightly better at Gu arts was Stockade Leader Ku himself. He was the only one who knew how to use high-level Gu arts, while the others could not. Fort Leader, what do we do now? Brother Wan asked. It seems that I have to do it myself. Fort Leader Ku sighed and said, no matter how many people go, they will only die. But, if you go personally, what if it's dangerous? Brother Wan asked worriedly. It's a blessing, not a curse. If it's a curse, we can't avoid it. Since Elder Yu has given us this mission, then I have to do my best to complete it. If I don't do it, then the day Elder Yu gains power will be the day we perish. Leader Ku said helplessly, now, do I have a choice? But. Brother Wan was still worried. No buts. I will go myself. If I don't come back, it will be the end of mutated Miao Village. You people, no matter who becomes the fort leader, will not be able to maintain the current situation of mutated Miao Village. It will only be destroyed in the end. So if I don't come back, you take the entire village to Fort Leader Yu. This is the only way out. Fort Leader Ku waved his hand and said. Although Brother Wan was not happy with Fort Leader Ku's words, he knew that Fort Leader Ku was telling the truth. None of them could shoulder the burden. If Fort Leader Ku was really done for, they would have to rely on someone else. Otherwise, mutated Miao Village would be destroyed in an instant. Okay, I got it. Brother Wan nodded and said. Since Fort Leader Ku had made up his mind, he did not waste any more time and quietly left mutated Miao Village alone. Although he said that he left secretly, he could only hide it from everyone in mutated Miao Village. He could not hide it from Yang Ming. Yang Ming had been using his special ability to track Xiaoda ever since he entered the village. Although Yang Ming could not enter the village, Xiaoda's every move in mutated Miao Village could not escape Yang Ming's eyes. From the beginning to the end, including the quarrel between Xiaoda and Brother Yao, to the meeting with Fort Leader Ku, Yang Ming saw everything clearly. Yang Ming also got to know what Fort Leader Ku looked like from Xiaoda's clues. Originally, Yang Ming was still thinking about how to lure Fort Leader Ku out. However, Yang Ming was surprised that Fort Leader Ku came out personally to accept the challenge. This saved Yang Ming a lot of trouble. Fort Leader Ku came out personally. I don't know what he's capable of. Everyone be careful. I will go out alone to face the enemy later. You guys hide first and act according to the situation. Yang Ming told Xia Shui and the rest. Yes. Yang Ming's words were orders. Xia Shui and the rest had to obey unconditionally. Fort Leader Ku did not know that Yang Ming and the rest had followed Xiaoda to the vicinity of mutated Miao village. He thought that they were still at the border of the Miaojiang forest. Therefore, after he left mutated Miao village, he immediately headed towards the border of the Miaojiang forest. Yang Ming, on the other hand, was following behind Fort Master Ku, not too far, not too close. However, after Fort Leader Ku walked a distance away from mutated Miao village, he stopped and turned around abruptly. He said to Yang Ming and the rest, "You've been following me for so long. Come out." Yang Ming was shocked. His tracking skills were top-notch. How could Fort Leader Ku discover him? Could it be that he was tricking them on purpose? It could be seen that Fort Master Ku was a cautious person. However, Yang Ming and the others weren't the kind of people who would give themselves away when they were scared. Therefore, after looking at each other for a short while, they all bent down and hid. These people were not inferior to Yang Ming in terms of tracking skills. They were confident that they would not be discovered by Fort Leader Ku. Moreover, they were quite a distance away from Fort Leader Ku. Fort Leader Ku did not have the all-seeing eye, so how could he discover them? Fort Leader Ku waited for a while. Seeing that no one spoke, he could not help but laugh coldly. "Who are you, cowards? If you don't come out, I'll catch you myself." However, after he said that, Yang Ming and the rest still did not move. As for Fort Master Ku, after waiting for no result, he actually walked back in large strides. He was walking towards the direction where Yang Ming and the rest were hiding. Yang Ming was confused. How could Fort Leader Ku be so sure that he was being followed? Chapter 2061. While Yang Ming was wondering what was going on, Leader Ku was getting closer and closer to them. It was as if he already knew where Yang Ming and the others were hiding. He walked in a straight line without any hesitation. He didn't even take an extra step. Yang Ming's heart skipped a beat. It seemed like this Leader Ku was really something. "Don't be nervous, guys. I'll take the lead first." Yang Ming took a deep breath and whispered to the others. The others nodded but did not say anything. "Are you still not coming out?" Camp Leader Ku yelled. At that moment, he was already less than 10 meters away from Yang Ming. Yang Ming sighed. This stronghold Master Ku had indeed come prepared. Even Yang Ming would not believe that this stronghold Master Ku was still trying to trick them. Leader Ku is really something. You are really something. I can't believe you can spot me from such a distance. Yang Ming stood up from the bushes and looked at Leader Ku. However, Yang Ming used the word I instead of we. He wanted to tell Leader Ku that he was the only one here. Where are the others? Why are they not coming out? Leader Ku asked coldly. The others. Yang Ming was stunned and looked at Leader Ku in confusion. You're just playing dumb. Fine, if you don't want to come out then so be it. Leader Ku said calmly, you are Yang Ming, right? Since you already know who I am, why ask? But I do admire you for being able to spot us. Yang Ming was not in a hurry to make a move. This leader Ku gave him a very dangerous feeling. Yang Ming's instinct told him that this person was very dangerous. If I didn't have some skills, I wouldn't be the leader of Mutated Meow Village. And Mutated Meow Village wouldn't have become the second largest Meow Village in such a short period of time. Leader Ku snorted and said proudly, "But you, kid, do have some skills. You can kill people without leaving a trace. Aren't you afraid of normal goo spells?" "Same here." Yang Ming smiled, but the flying needle had already slid into his hand. Yang Ming made a gesture of stroking his hair and threw the flying needle towards Leader Ku. Fort Leader Ku shrugged his shoulders and spread out his hands. However, he did not fall to the ground like Yang Ming had expected. This made Yang Ming a little surprised. Could it be that his flying needles were ineffective against Fort Leader Ku? Elder Yu was cultivating Jean Gang's invincible body. Could it be that this stockade Leader Ku was cultivating as well? But in the next moment, Yang Ming knew the reason. Flying needles, this is a technical job. Isn't this a kind of tree unique to our Miaozheng? Your flying needles are made of this kind of wood. Camp Leader Ku asked in surprise as he held a wooden flying needle in his hand. Fort Leader Ku was shocked, but Yang Ming was even more shocked. His flying needle was caught by stockade Leader Ku. "You are a martial arts expert?" Yang Ming's face darkened. He did not expect this stockade Leader Ku to not only know how to use venomous insects, but also be a martial arts expert. Although his flying needle technique couldn't be said to be invincible, there weren't many people who could counter it. Moreover, he launched the flying needle unexpectedly, but this stockade Leader Ku was able to detect it and catch it. Did this mean that this stockade Leader Ku was more powerful than him? This made Yang Ming's face turn even darker. At first, Yang Ming thought that this stockade Leader Ku would be easy to deal with because Lan Ling did not give him a high evaluation. Yang Ming thought that it would be easy to capture this stockade Leader Ku and interrogate him for Elder Yu's whereabouts. But now, it seemed that things were not as simple as he thought. "I'm not a martial arts expert. I travel mountains and rivers to gather herbs and collect venomous insects all year round. That's why I'm faster than others." Fort Leader Ku smiled and did not try to hide his strength. "However, you must be wondering how I was able to discover you, right? And why can I catch your flying needle?" As long as Yang Ming made a move, he would be able to detect his strength. So, stockade Leader Ku did not need to lie. He might as well tell Yang Ming everything. Besides, the most important thing that Elder Yu needed to do was to buy time. Yang Ming nodded and said, "I'd like to hear the details. Among the venomous insects that I make, one of them is called the eyes and ears venomous insect. The eyes and ears venomous insect, as the name suggests, is my eyes and ears." Stockade Leader Ku smiled and said, "The eyes and ears venomous insect is a type of flying venomous insect. There are tens of thousands of these venomous insects, and they are distributed tens of meters, hundreds of meters, or even farther away from me. These eyes and ears venomous insects are my eyes and ears. Whatever they see, whatever they discover, it will be transmitted to me. So, you were following me, and it was not long before I found your tracks. There's actually such a magical thing." Yang Ming could not help but exclaim. "Hee, of course, I have my ways to make mutated meow stockades so prosperous. But, I don't use these eyes and ears venomous insects very often. Other than the initial experiment, you are the first person that I value enough to use these eyes and ears venomous insects." Stockade Leader Ku said. "I didn't expect that I would be so honored to have you use such a powerful method." Yang Ming suddenly realized why they could not escape from Stockade Leader Ku's eyes despite being so careful. It turned out that Stockade Leader Ku had such a method. In that case, wouldn't it be similar to his X-ray vision, telescopic vision, and 360-degree vision? It's not that powerful. It's just a type of auxiliary venomous insect technique. Stockade Leader Ku said, "Now, are you still wondering why I caught your flying needle? You also used these eyes and ears venomous insects to find out." Yang Ming had figured out Stockade Leader Ku's method. "That's right. You're quite smart, you know how to draw inferences from one example." Stockade Leader Ku nodded, "I'm already very fast. Now that I have these eyes and ears venomous insects, I can detect your movements and react accordingly. There's a saying that goes, fast eyes and quick hands. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But, my eyes have become these eyes and ears venomous insects. I can already react to whatever they see." Amazing! Yang Ming could not help but exclaim, "But since you've told me the truth, aren't you afraid that I'll turn against you? You know, even if you have some tricks up your sleeve, it's useless in front of absolute power." "Yes, I know." Chief Ku nodded and said, "That's what I want to tell you. I've said so many things to you before, I've explained so many things to you, I've even exposed my weakness. Why did I do that? Do you really think I'm showing off to you? I'm just stalling for time." Chapter 2062. Buy time. You are trying to buy time like Wang Xiaosu so that you can use your goo curse on me, right? Yang Ming asked. Yang Ming had noticed Fort Leader Ku's plan a long time ago. When Wang Xiaosu used this trick for the first time, Yang Ming had already seen through it. How could he be fooled when Fort Leader Ku was using it? However, Yang Ming wasn't sure about Fort Leader Ku's ability before this. As the saying goes, know thyself and know thy enemy, and thou shalt be victorious in every battle. Fort Leader Ku's keen observation and super-fast movements had scared Yang Ming, so he didn't dare to make a move recklessly. Even now, Yang Ming was not confident that he could hit the ground with one hit, because this Stockade Leader Ku in front of him was too powerful. His eyes and ears were alert, and his movements were fast. Yang Ming was almost sure that when he attacked, this Stockade Leader Ku would be able to dodge quickly. That was why Yang Ming didn't make a move, which gave Fort Leader Ku time to prepare his goo curse. This was also a last resort. Yang Ming had no other choice. Smart. Fort Leader Ku said calmly, "Since you gave me time, I can tell you with certainty that you don't have a chance anymore." Fort Leader Ku waved his hands and completed the last step of his goo curse. Done? Yang Ming asked. Yes, it will take effect soon. None of you can escape from it, Fort Leader Ku nodded and said. Yang Ming shrugged. He just remembered that Fort Leader Ku's eyes and ears were his goo curse. In other words, Lu Yezi and the others were already exposed to Fort Leader Ku. Come out, all of you. Since they have found out, there is no need to hide anymore. Let's act according to the situation, Yang Ming said to Lu Yezi and the others. Yang Ming's hint was very obvious. Since they all knew that Leader Ku had this kind of goo worm, they should act according to the situation. When Yang Ming made his move, they would all attack at the same time. Yang Ming didn't believe that Leader Ku could only defend against one person. How could he defend against all of them? Even if he saw through the eyes and ears goo, he could still dodge one or two attacks, but to dodge all of them was basically impossible. Not to mention him, even if it was Yang Ming, it would not be easy for him to dodge the attacks of several experts at the same time. If he did not rely on the butterfly micro-steps, Yang Ming might also be hit. In addition, these people had all learned Wang Kejin's special attack skill, which made it even harder for him to dodge. Therefore, Yang Ming did not believe that Camp Leader Ku would be able to dodge the attack. Everyone understood what Yang Ming meant. They stood out from the bushes and quickly surrounded Camp Leader Ku. It seemed that they were waiting for an opportunity to attack. What is the meaning of this? Are you all going to attack together? Camp Leader Ku asked when he saw these people surrounding him, as if he was not nervous at all. Although you have a lot of eyes and ears, I don't believe that you can dodge all of our attacks at the same time. As Yang Ming said this, he said with some confidence, "It's not that I underestimate you. Although your movement technique is fast, and you have the cheat of the ear and eye voodoo, you have overlooked a fact. That is, we are all experts, not ordinary people." Hee, you are very confident, aren't you? But, don't you know that I have already used the goo worm on all of you? Camp Leader Ku smiled and said, "Don't you know that there is a reason why I am not afraid of all of you attacking me together?" "Oh right, I forgot to tell you. All of us have taken the antidote. Your poison is useless to us." Yang Ming smiled and said, "You don't know, right? We still have the antidote with us." Hee, I really don't know. Camp Leader Ku nodded and smiled. "I didn't expect you to have such a high-quality antidote. You are indeed the son-in-law of Blue Meow Village, you have a lot of good stuff. Since you know, how can you still laugh?" Yang Ming frowned. He faintly felt that something was not quite right. Camp Leader Ku was too calm, wasn't he? He was so calm that it was beyond imagination. Yang Ming felt that Camp Leader Ku did not care whether he had the antidote or not. When he said that he had the antidote, Camp Leader Ku was only a little surprised, but he did not look nervous, uneasy, or scared at all. This did not escape Yang Ming's sharp eyes. There was not a single trace of uneasiness in Camp Leader Ku's eyes. This made Yang Ming feel that something was not right. Could it be that there was something that he did not know? It's no wonder Wang Xiaodong's low-level goo technique was ineffective against you. However, my goo technique is no ordinary knockoff. My goo technique is a high-level goo technique that I have never displayed before. Goo antidote pill. Hee, it's ineffective. Camp Leader Ku's eyes flashed with a hint of pride. Luckily, he was prepared. What he had done earlier had successfully shocked Yang Ming. He had made Yang Ming a little afraid and did not attack him immediately. This gave him enough time to activate the goose skill. This goose skill was not an ordinary one. It was secretly stolen by Camp Leader Ku from another Meow village. However, he did not reveal it to anyone. Just like the eyes and ears goo, he would not use it unless it was a critical moment. This was also the reason why he had agreed to Elder Yu's request. If he did not have any confidence, he might as well just run away with the entire mutated Meow village. Why would he take the initiative to look for Yang Ming? Ineffective. Yang Ming was shocked after hearing it. How could it be ineffective? Didn't Lan Ling say that Fort Leader Ku only knew some low-level goo? How could he know such a high-level goo skill? Yang Ming was shocked when he knew that Camp Leader Ku knew how to use the eyes and ears goo. Now, he was even more shocked. It seemed that Lan Ling was also fooled. It could only be said that Camp Leader Ku had hidden his true strength too well. Hee, I think someone told you before that the goo skill of mutated Meow village can be neutralized with the antidote, right? Looking at the shocked expression on Yang Ming's face, Leader Ku was even more proud of himself. You're quite well informed. But I can't blame you for this. This is because I didn't even tell the people closest to me in mutated Meow village about this. Don't think that I don't know that Blue Meow village has spies in mutated Meow village. So, how could I reveal my trump card so casually? Even the people close to me don't know about it, let alone these spies. You deserve to lose. Ha! Chapter 2063. So that's how it is. You've really hidden it well. You fooled everyone. Yang Ming nodded. He didn't dare to waste any more time. He waved his hand and ordered Lu Yezi and the others, everyone, let's go together. Capture him before the poison takes effect. Yes. Lu Yezi and the others responded and were about to rush forward. However, before they could take 2 steps forward, a painful expression appeared on their faces at the same time. Then, they fell to the ground one by one. Big drops of sweat fell from their foreheads. At the same time, they groaned in pain. It hurts. Yang Ming was shocked. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak. He looked at Leader Ku with a complicated expression. Previously, Yang Ming thought that Leader Ku was just an alarmist. Yang Ming also placed his hope on the antidote pill made by Zhang Jishin. After all, Zhang Jishin was very skilled in the art of venomous insects. The pills that he made might be more powerful than ordinary people. Then, Yang Ming wanted to capture Leader Ku together while he was talking. Then, Yang Ming would force the antidote out of him. Some of Yang Ming's methods were not as easy as being poisoned by venomous insects. Some of them were even more painful. Yang Ming didn't believe that Leader Ku would be able to endure it and not hand over the antidote. However, what Yang Ming didn't expect was that when these people were about to attack Leader Ku, the venomous insects took effect and they fell to the ground. Yang Ming didn't feel any discomfort because he was poisoned by the venomous insects. It was possible that the venomous insects had neutralized the effects of the venomous insects. However, the others didn't have the venomous insects, so it was different. They would definitely be poisoned by the venomous insects. Huh, are you surprised? Are you shocked? Leader Ku laughed when he saw this scene. They will pass out in a while. But they won't die. Don't worry, what kind of venomous insects are they poisoned with? Yang Ming frowned and asked. It's okay to tell you, but I really don't know. Leader Ku shrugged and said, I stole this venomous insect from another Miao village. I don't know what it is, but this venomous insect's level is very high. It can make people lose their muscle power without them noticing. In the end, they won't even be able to walk. Don't you think it's strange that you're fine when everyone else is down? At first, Yang Ming was at a loss of what to do. However, after hearing Leader Ku's words, his eyes lit up. Wasn't it because he had a hard venomous insect? Yang Ming, was there a reason why he didn't know that he was poisoned by the venomous insects? So he didn't know that he was poisoned. Why didn't I fall down? Could it be that you let me go? Yang Ming asked calmly. No. You are the most dangerous person in my eyes. I would never let you go. Leader Ku laughed and said, after knowing that I successfully used the venomous insect on you, why are you still standing here fearlessly? Aren't you worried that you will suddenly attack me and kill me? Why? Yang Ming continued to follow Fort Leader Ku's words. Because at that time, my venomous insect had already taken effect. That's why I'm not afraid. Leader Ku said, the venomous insect takes a certain amount of time to take effect. But the condition is that you can't use your strength. The more you use your strength, the faster the venomous insect will take effect. You stood there and didn't move. The others all used their strength to attack me. In the end, the venomous insect in their bodies took effect first. Oh. Why does that sound like the 10 fragrant bone softening powder in wuxia novels? As long as you use your qi, it won't work. Yang Ming frowned and said. Something like that. But this isn't my qi. It's anything that uses up strength. You can try it if you don't believe me. Stronghold Master Ku said, now you know why I am still standing here, and why I didn't do anything when you surrounded me, right? It's because I'm not afraid of what you'll do. So you're saying that if I save my strength, I can stay awake for a longer period of time? Yang Ming asked. But it won't be long. You need a bit of strength to talk and stand up. Although it's not much, but after a while, you won't be able to escape the fate of falling asleep. Leader Ku said, but after you sleep, you will wake up. But you still can't use your strength. This is different from the venomous insect. It's controlled by the venomous insect. The venomous insect is in your body. As long as it doesn't die, you will stay like this. It will get worse and worse. How is it? Does it feel good? I see. So, how are you going to deal with us? Yang Ming didn't show it on his face, but in his mind, he was thinking about how to deal with this situation. At the same time, he was trying to ask Leader Ku some questions. Why would I want to deal with you? You have nothing to do with me. If it weren't for Elder Yu, I wouldn't know who you are. Leader Ku shook his head and said, I'll take you back and ask Elder Yu. Elder Yu said to keep you alive, so I'll lock you up. Elder Yu said to kill you, so I'm sorry, but you won't live to see the sun tomorrow. So, you're Elder Yu's dog. Yang Ming said with a cold smile. It's not up to you to decide whether I am or not. But one thing is for sure, you're going to be my prisoner soon. Leader Ku shrugged and said calmly, Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. You want to get some secrets from me, but I won't tell you. Actually, I don't know how to solve this venomous insect myself. So don't even think about it. Is that so? Then, I'll kill you first, even if I have to pass out. As Yang Ming said that, he suddenly jumped up and floated toward Leader Ku. He was going to give him a heavy blow. Leader Ku didn't try to dodge. There was a hint of sarcasm in his eyes. According to his calculation, Yang Ming could only walk a few steps before he passed out. He was more than 10 meters away from Yang Ming, so there was no danger at all. Yang Ming only walked a few steps before he suddenly screamed. Then, cold sweat appeared on his forehead. Then, he fell to the ground in pain. He groaned a few times and then passed out. He didn't move anymore. Chapter 2064. Seeing that Yang Ming had also fallen to the ground, Leader Ku suddenly laughed out loud. What do you mean by, don't listen to your elders? You are a typical example. I told you not to use your strength, but you didn't listen. What happened? You fainted as well, right? Ha 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 ha. Previously, Leader Ku was a little worried that Yang Ming had some special skills that could make him immune to his high-level voodoo. After all, Yang Ming was the leader of the team, so he should have some more powerful skills. Maybe he had a high-level antidote for voodoo. After all, the son-in-law of Lan Miao village should have some special skills, right? However, Yang Ming's performance made him breathe a sigh of relief. Sure enough, Yang Ming didn't have any high-level antidote for voodoo, and he still fainted on the ground. This showed that he had overestimated Yang Ming. This kid couldn't do anything in front of his high-level voodoo. Of course, in reality, Leader Ku was very wrong. Although Yang Ming had fainted, he was faking it. He did not faint at all. At that moment, there was indeed an uncomfortable feeling of qi and blood surging up. However, this uncomfortable feeling quickly disappeared and was replaced by a burst of relaxation. Yang Ming knew that Master Ku's voodoo technique was broken by his voodoo heart voodoo. The heart voodoo should be a very high-level voodoo art. Even Lan Ling and her grandmother couldn't do anything about it. How could a voodoo art like Fort Leader Ku's be able to do anything about it? Voodoo brought about benefits and disadvantages. The greater the side effects, the greater the benefits. Since this voodoo could endanger Yang Ming's life, it could also save Yang Ming's life. As long as it was not a particularly powerful voodoo, it should be neutralized automatically by the voodoo. Of course, the voodoo that Yun Guangdo had gotten from Elder Yu was an exception. If it was not for Lan Hai, Yang Ming would have died. However, Yang Ming did not care about such a low-level voodoo. Yang Ming was a person who was good at disguising. Disguising was one of the compulsory courses for an assassin. Yang Ming could disguise himself as people of different professions, and he could also play dead. Especially when Yang Ming saw how the others died, he memorized it in his mind. Even Fort Leader Ku didn't suspect anything. When Leader Ku saw that Yang Ming had also fainted on the ground, he laughed maniacally and walked over. He was ready to capture Yang Ming and the others and bring them back to Abnormal Meow Stockade. Master Ku took out a rope from somewhere and started to tie up Lu Yezi, Xia Shui, Feng Tianlong, and Xiao Susu's hands and feet. It was obvious that Master Ku was a very careful person. Even though these people had fainted, he still tied them up to prevent them from escaping. Perhaps Master Ku knew that it was impossible for him to bring all these people back to Abnormal Meow Stockade with his own strength. He could only capture them first, then call someone to bring them back to Abnormal Meow Stockade and wait for Elder Yu to deal with them. Yang Ming could see his surroundings with his eyes closed. The 360-degree perspective ability was not just for show. It had a practical use. Yang Ming watched as Master Ku tied up Lu Yezi and the others one by one. He was a little anxious. Why didn't this guy come for me first? Why did he go for the others first? In fact, as mentioned before, Master Ku was a very careful person. He always felt that Yang Ming should have more powerful antidotes on him, and not just the antidote voodoo pill. As for the other antidote, it was called the Super Antidote Pill, or the Advanced Antidote Pill. Although the name was different, it existed in reality. Although this Advanced Antidote Pill could not completely break the Advanced Antidote spell, it could still provide some relief. Therefore, Master Ku was very cautious when Yang Ming suddenly fainted. While he was tying up the others, he was also paying attention to Yang Ming. He wanted to see if he was faking it, or if he really fainted. Master Ku seemed to be leisurely tying up Yang Ming and the others, but in fact, he was very cautious. He mobilized all the eyes and ears around Yang Ming to monitor him. In his opinion, if Yang Ming was faking it, he would definitely open his eyes and secretly observe the situation. Even if he squinted his eyes, it was impossible for him to hide from the eyes and ears goo. Once Yang Ming made a move, Master Ku could plan his next step at any time. However, after Master Ku tied up the hands and feet of Lu Yezi and the others, Yang Ming still did not have any reaction. His eyes did not move at all. Master Ku heaved a sigh of relief. How would he know that Yang Ming had the ability to see with his eyes closed? Not only could he see with his eyes closed, but he could also see with a 360-degree view. It was almost as good as his eyes and ears goo. He could use the eyes and ears goo to monitor Yang Ming without looking at Yang Ming, but Yang Ming was also using his eyes and ears goo to monitor him. However, Master Ku did not think that Yang Ming had such a powerful ability. After he was sure that Yang Ming had really fainted, he smiled and walked towards Yang Ming. "Kid, you can't escape from me after all. This time, I can finally report to Elder Yu." Saying this, Stockade Leader Ku took out a rope and was about to tie Yang Ming up. However, in the next moment, Yang Ming, who was lying on the ground, suddenly stood up. When Leader Ku was bending over, Yang Ming abruptly pressed a few acupoints on Leader Ku's body. Leader Ku couldn't move at all in the blink of an eye. You. Master Ku stared at Yang Ming in shock. He opened his eyes wide and said, "You. How did you come back to life?" Although Stockade Leader Ku had already noticed Yang Ming's abnormality the moment he launched his attack, and the Year and I Gu had also given him a warning, he had no time to react because he was too close to Yang Ming. The distance between them was less than half a meter. Even if Stockade Leader Ku wanted to dodge, there was no way he could. There was no time for him to do so. So, Stockade Leader Ku could only watch as Yang Ming attacked him. Yang Ming used a very magical method to make him unable to move. Yeah, how did I come back to life again? Yang Ming smiled and looked at Fort Leader Ku, but, I did come back to life, because I was not dead. You were faking it. Master Ku was furious. If he still did not know that Yang Ming was faking it, he would be an idiot. But, how was that possible? How could his high-level Gu technique have no effect on him? Besides, how could Yang Ming be so good at faking it? How could he not notice anything? Chapter 2065. Not only that, he had even fooled the ear and eyes Gu insect. When he was trying to kill time by tying up Yang Ming's men, the ear and eyes Gu insect had been keeping an eye on Yang Ming. Even when he was right next to Yang Ming did not move at all. How did he know that he was right in front of him? Leader Ku could not figure it out. I was faking it. Can't you tell? Yang Ming shrugged and smiled innocently. I was good at faking it, wasn't I? Humph. Who would have thought that all is fair in war? In the end, I still made the wrong move and lost to you. Leader Ku sighed. Yang Ming, the son-in-law of Blue Miao Village, you really live up to your name. Cut the crap. Give me the antidote now. Yang Ming interrupted Camp Leader Ku and yelled at him. Antidote? I'm sorry, I don't have it. Leader Ku shook his head. Since I lost to you, you can do whatever you want to me. But I really don't have the antidote. After listening to Yang Ming's question, although his mouth was full of righteousness, his heart was relieved. It seemed that Yang Ming didn't have the antidote. If he had the antidote, why would he ask for it from him? Even if he did, he might only have one and he had taken it himself. Or maybe he did not have the antidote. He just took a super antidote and thought that it was the antidote. He did not know that it could only slow down the process of the poison. It could not cure the poison completely. You don't have it. You don't have the antidote for your own poison. Do you think I will believe you? Yang Ming looked at Leader Ku with a cold smile. Do you think you have a choice? Don't force me to do anything to you. I'm telling you the truth. Leader Ku said with a wry smile, I've already told you that I stole the recipe from another Hmong village. There's only the poison, but no antidote. Maybe the people in that village have it, but I don't. What Hmong village? Yang Ming frowned and asked. It's useless. That Hmong stockade village has already been annihilated by our abnormal Miao stockade village. Leader Ku smiled and said, the rest of the people in that Miao village have all fled. We can't find them anymore. You don't have to think about it. Humph. Yang Ming snorted coldly and said, looks like you won't cry until you see the coffin. Then don't blame me for being rude. After that, Yang Ming casually poked Leader Ku's body a few times. This was Yang Ming's specialty. He could make people suffer, but he could not kill them. Ah! The next moment, Leader Ku opened his mouth and eyes wide. He started to breathe heavily, and the pain on his face was obvious. So painful. What did you do to me? What did you do to me? Ah! It's nothing. Anyway, it's not a curse, because I don't know how to do it. Yang Ming said calmly, do you have the antidote now? No. No, I don't have the antidote. Leader Ku was in great pain, but he really did not have the antidote. He was not lying to Yang Ming. He had not really used this curse ever since he had created it. He had only secretly tested it on his enemies. As for the antidote, how would Leader Ku know about it? He did not invent this curse. There was only a prescription, and the antidote was not on it. Oh, then you can continue to suffer. Tell me when you have the antidote. Yang Ming did not seem to want to talk to Leader Ku anymore. Instead, he turned around and sat on the ground leisurely, waiting for Leader Ku's answer. So painful. So painful. Fort Leader Ku was gasping for air. He was in so much pain that his forehead was full of sweat. His whole body was trembling non-stop. He couldn't move at all because Yang Ming had sealed his acupuncture points. He didn't even have the right to stretch his body. "Do you have the antidote now?" Yang Ming asked. "No. I really don't have it." Fort Leader Ku was in so much pain that he didn't mind giving it to Yang Ming if he had the antidote. He was in so much pain that he felt like he was going to explode. "No, then you can continue to suffer, or you can think of an antidote." Yang Ming's face was full of sarcasm, but his heart was getting heavier and heavier. Yang Ming had used this method to deal with a lot of enemies. Ordinary enemies would have already admitted defeat after such a long time. No matter how stubborn they were, Yang Ming had already pried open their mouths, let alone asking for the antidote. However, at this moment, Fort Leader Ku still did not take out the antidote. What did this mean? Did he want it? It meant that Leader Ku had a strong will. Did he want it? It meant that he really did not have it. Of course, Yang Ming had already guessed it. He was more inclined towards the second possibility, which was that even Leader Ku himself didn't have the antidote for the venomous insect. "Then let me ask you, how did Elder Yu ask you to deal with us?" Yang Ming changed the question. Although this was what Yang Ming wanted to know, Yang Ming could tell if Leader Ku really did not have the antidote, or if he was just pretending. Elder Yu is at a critical moment in his cultivation. He does not want to be disturbed. So he asked me to stop you, to buy as much time as possible. Leader Ku did not hide the truth this time. "Oh. Then where is Elder Yu now? Why did you hand us over to him?" Yang Ming asked. "After I capture you, I can use the phone to contact Elder Yu's subordinates," Leader Ku said. "Then do you know where Elder Yu's residence is?" Yang Ming continued to ask. "I know, I can tell you, but Elder Yu is an extremely cautious person. He lives in a few places. I heard that every time he sees an outsider, he would change his location. He is also afraid that the people from Blue Meow Village will find him. So, even if I tell you, I don't think he is here now." Leader Ku did not hide the truth, and told him everything. "Tell me his location." Yang Ming's heart sank. It seemed that Leader Ku really did not have the antidote. "His coordinates are XXXXX. Leader Ku said Elder Yu's location, and then he started to moan loudly. "It's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable." "Oh, then where is the antidote?" Yang Ming continued to ask. "Fuck you, I really don't have it. Why don't you believe me? You can just kill me, it's better than suffering like this." Leader Ku started to scream in his heart. He could not take it anymore. However, Yang Ming happened to see his thoughts. Yang Ming's face darkened. This time, there was no doubt that Leader Ku really did not have the antidote. He had already told his thoughts in his heart, and it was not a lie. Chapter 2066. Yang Ming's heart was heavy. He was afraid that Leader Ku was not lying. If that was the case, it would be impossible for Yang Ming to get the antidote from Leader Ku. If he had known this would happen, Yang Ming would have ordered Lu Yezi and the others to run away when Leader Ku used the poison. He believed that even if Leader Ku chased after them, it would be impossible for him to chase after all of them. As long as they ran away separately, Leader Ku would not be able to catch up with them. Moreover, Leader Ku would not leave him behind to chase after the others. Elder Yu had specifically asked Leader Ku to stop Leader Ku. Leader Ku would definitely follow Leader Ku's lead. Thinking of this, Yang Ming could not help but feel a little regretful. He had harmed his own teammates. He was too conceited. He thought that even if the antidote could not be used to deal with Leader Ku's poison, he could still force Leader Ku to give him the antidote. However, the current situation was out of Yang Ming's expectation. Leader Ku did not have the antidote at all. Initially, Yang Ming's previous plan was going very smoothly, but now, it came to an abrupt end and was abandoned halfway. According to Yang Ming's plan, there was a reason why he did not attack Leader Ku directly. Instead, he pretended to be unconscious and fell on the ground to confuse Leader Ku. Leader Ku was a very cautious person. That was why Yang Ming was not confident that he could hit Leader Ku in one hit. Because the distance was too far. If he missed, Leader Ku would be alerted. Then, it would be very difficult to find another opportunity. That was why he pretended to be unconscious to confuse Leader Ku first. Then, he would give him a fatal blow. Yang Ming had indeed successfully deceived Fort Master Ku and captured him in one strike. However, it was out of common sense that Fort Master Ku had no antidote. Yang Ming was in deep thought. However, Leader Ku was still in pain. If Yang Ming did not remove the seal on his acupoints, Leader Ku would suffer every minute and every second. Ah! I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Just kill me. Can't you just let me die? Leader Ku could not take it anymore. He was begging for death. I'll make up a lie to deceive him. He'll relieve me of my pain first. Then, I'll just die. Seeing that Yang Ming did not respond, Fort Master Ku thought to himself. However, Yang Ming had also seen his idea. While Yang Ming was thinking about what to do next, he heard Leader Ku's idea and decided to beat him at his own game. Since Leader Ku did not know where Elder Yu was, Yang Ming would pretend to have fainted and be captured by Leader Ku. Then, he would wait for Elder Yu's arrival in otherworldly Miao Village. As for Xia Shui, Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong and Xiao Susu, they had to think of another way to treat them. I know the antidote. I said, let me go. Since Leader Ku had made up his mind, he started to yell. Yang Ming had already made up his mind. When he heard Leader Ku say that he knew the antidote, he nodded his head and sneered, You finally agreed? All right, then I'll let you off for now. But if you lie to me, then I won't hold back. All right. Let me go. Leader Ku didn't care whether Yang Ming would let him go or not. He just nodded his head painfully. Yang Ming patted Leader Ku's body a few times to unseal his acupuncture points. Then, he said, All right, you can tell me now. Let me take a breather first. Leader Ku knew that if he said that he lied to Yang Ming, he wouldn't be able to live for long. So, he wanted to get some rest before he told the truth. Are you done? Why are you taking so long? Yang Ming frowned and asked. I'm done. Leader Ku took a deep breath and said, Actually, there is no antidote. You should just kill me. What? No antidote. Yang Ming was enraged. He raised his hand and was about to hit Leader Ku. However, Yang Ming's face suddenly turned pale. Large beads of sweat rolled down Yang Ming's forehead. Yang Ming's face started to twist. You. What's wrong? Leader Ku was stunned when he saw Yang Ming's face. So painful. Yang Ming fell to the ground in pain. He kept moaning, so painful. What's wrong? Wasn't the antidote cured? Why is it acting up again? Is the super antidote not working? Shit. After that, Yang Ming's body started to twitch. Then, he fell to the ground and stopped moving. What? Stockade Leader Ku was dumbfounded by the sudden change. What did that mean? Yang Ming died again. And this time, it seemed like he really died. Leader Ku couldn't understand why Yang Ming pretended to be unconscious when he had the upper hand. If Yang Ming wanted to kill Fort Leader Ku, it would be a piece of cake. There was no need for him to play dead to deceive him. But why did Yang Ming's antidote act up again? That's right. Leader Ku suddenly remembered what Yang Ming said before he fainted. The super antidote. Yang Ming had taken the super antidote. This medicine could alleviate the effects of the antidote. However, it could only alleviate the effects. It couldn't completely remove the antidote. The super antidote only delayed the effects of the antidote compared to the normal antidote. It wasn't the real antidote. No wonder Yang Ming was able to hold on for so long. In the end, he was enraged and wanted to finish me off, but in the end, he fainted. This is really too tragic. GGA. Leader Ku couldn't help but laugh. He was very happy. He thought that he was going to die, but the tables had turned. He didn't die, but Yang Ming had fainted. Life was full of joys and sorrows. Comedies came too quickly. He couldn't get used to it. Wahahaha. God is helping me. Leader Ku laughed. Yang Ming, do you think the super antidote is invincible? Ha ha ha, have you ever thought that my antidote is also a high-level antidote? Since the antidote didn't work, what's the use of the super antidote? Yang Ming was a little speechless as he lay on the ground. Motherfucker, I just casually mentioned the super antidote pill, and there is actually such a thing. It seemed that Leader Ku knew that the super antidote was useless against his antidote. It was like a blind cat running into a dead mouse. What a coincidence. Wait a second before you faint. I haven't unsealed my acupuncture points yet. I can't move. Leader Ku suddenly remembered that Yang Ming had sealed his acupuncture points. Although it wasn't painful anymore, he should still be unable to move. So, he subconsciously bent down and shook Yang Ming's body. He wanted to wake Yang Ming up so that he could unseal his acupuncture points. Yang Ming was even more speechless. You old bastard. Didn't you notice that you can move yourself? Why are you shaking me? Yang Ming had already made a plan. He couldn't make a mistake. So, he unsealed his acupuncture points. Chapter 2067. However, it seemed that Chief Ku had not noticed it yet. Yang Ming did not know what to say. He wanted to stand up and scold him. You can move now, but you don't know that all your acupuncture points have been unsealed. Why are you still looking for me? Chief Ku shook Yang Ming a few times but to no avail. Suddenly, he realized that he could move again. There were no signs of his acupuncture points being sealed. He could move freely. He could jump and walk as he wished. What's going on? Chief Ku mumbled to himself. That's right, he had asked Yang Ming to help him get rid of his pain. Perhaps Yang Ming had also unknowingly helped him get rid of the seal on his body. This should be Yang Ming's subconscious action. Yang Ming himself probably did not know that Yang Ming had helped him get rid of the seal on his body. Otherwise, Yang Ming would not have attacked him so recklessly. Yang Ming was not an idiot. Thinking of this, Chief Ku could not help but laugh out loud. Even the heavens were helping him. What a coincidence. He did not know what to do when Yang Ming fainted. But now, it was no longer necessary. Yang Ming had already gotten rid of the seal on his body before he fainted. Kid, TSK, I don't know what to say to you anymore. You lost, but you did not lose at all. You reap what you sow. Chief Ku looked at the fainted Yang Ming and said calmly. Yang Ming was still speechless. Chief Ku did not tie up Yang Ming himself. In his opinion, Yang Ming had completely fainted. There was no need to tie him up. He would not wake up anytime soon. The reason was simple. Yang Ming would not give up when he had the absolute advantage. Very soon, Brother Wan arrived with a group of mutated Miao Village's men. When he saw that Leader Ku was standing there unscathed while Yang Ming and the rest were lying motionless on the ground, Brother Wan heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that the mutated Miao Stockade's position was secured. As long as Chief Ku's position was not affected, the mutated Miao Stockade would continue to prosper. Congratulations, Master. Congratulations. Brother Wan ran over in big steps and respectfully said to Camp Leader Ku, Camp Leader Ku, you have won the battle. Stop with the flattery. Bring these people back to the mutated Miao Stockade. Chief Ku waved his hand and ordered Brother Wan. Yes. Brother Wan nodded and ordered his men. They carried the fainted Yang Ming, Lu Yezi, Xia Shui, Feng Tianlong, and Xiao Susu to the mutated Miao Stockade. In the mutated Miao Stockade, there was a place to hold prisoners. Usually, it was used to hold residents who violated the rules of the stockade. It was also used to hold prisoners of war from other Miao stockades. Yang Ming and the rest were thrown into a huge prison cell. Although the houses in the mutated Miao stockade were made of wood, it was because of the climate here that such houses were more comfortable. It was not that the mutated Miao stockade did not have enough money to build houses made of cement. The prison cell was made of reinforced concrete. Its purpose was to prevent the people inside from escaping. As for whether it was comfortable or not, it was not the concern of the people of the mutated Miao stockade. Yang Ming was conscious the whole time. When he and the rest were thrown into the prison cell, the door was closed with a bang, followed by the sound of the door being locked. The prison cell suddenly turned dark. There were no windows and it was a little like a prison in ancient times. The floor was covered with straw mats and there were no other facilities. However, it was not shabby and it was very clean. Thinking about it, there were not many opportunities to use such a huge prison cell. It was impossible for the mutated Miao stockade to have so many people who violated the stockade rules at the same time. It was estimated that no one had used this place since it was built. After these people left, Yang Ming took out his phone and sent a message to Lan Ling. He explained his situation and told her not to worry too much. At the same time, he also told Lan Ling about the problem he encountered. Xia Shui, Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong and Xiao Susu had not been cured yet. This was Yang Ming's top priority. Although stockade leader Ku was very cautious, he was not a professional. He threw Yang Ming and the rest into the prison cell without even searching them. He did not even take away their phones. Perhaps he thought that the prison cell was so sturdy that Yang Ming and the rest would not be able to escape. It did not matter what they had on them. Therefore, Yang Ming successfully kept his phone and sent a message to Lan Ling. Not long after, Lan Ling's message came back. I'm sorry, Yang Ming. I was careless. I didn't investigate properly and brought you trouble. However, since this type of poison can be cured, it is not a problem. Did you forget what I said? Your voodoo has been transmitted to Chen Mengyan, Zhou Jijia and the rest. Therefore, they have the same immunity as you. Therefore, you only need to infect Xia Shui and Xiao Susu with the same voodoo. Then, you can save them. Yang Ming looked at Lan Ling's message and was speechless. It was fine if it was Xia Shui, but Xiao Susu was Feng Tianlong's girlfriend. How could he do anything to her? Wasn't this an international joke? Moreover, there were 2 men here. If the woman was contagious, what about the men? Therefore, Yang Ming smiled bitterly and replied to Lan Ling, my little Ling Ling, Xiao Susu is Feng Tianlong's girlfriend. Moreover, even if she was contagious, what about Feng Tianlong and Lu Yezi? You don't want me to be gay friends with them, right? Lan Ling's message was quickly replied again, I'm sorry. I was careless. Lan Ling sent a cute emoji and continued, there is also a voodoo component in your blood, but it is not as effective as that method. However, for ordinary voodoo, your blood can be cured. You can give each of them a little bit of your blood. You don't need a lot, just a little bit is enough. If they drink too much, it won't have much effect. It can only slow down their aging. However, you better not do this. It is better to keep this matter a secret from outsiders. Okay, I got it. Yang Ming looked at Lan Ling's solution and was relieved. As long as there was a solution, it was fine. As for making Feng Tianlong, Lu Yezi and Xiao Susu stay young forever, it was better to forget about it. After all, this kind of thing was a little too strange. Not everyone liked to stay young forever. Yang Ming also had no other choice. Otherwise, as a man, it was fine if he stayed at the prime of his life in his 30s or 40s. Otherwise, when he had children in the future, he and his children would be like brothers. Their mothers would be like sisters to them. Wouldn't this be too scary? Chapter 2068. After hanging up the phone, Yang Ming didn't dare to neglect. He directly bit his finger and put it into Xia Shue's mouth. It was also an experiment on Xia Shui. If this method didn't work, then he could only use the ultimate method mentioned by Lan Ling. However, Yang Ming could only save Xia Shui. As for the others, Yang Ming really couldn't do anything. Yang Ming's heart wasn't perverted. It was impossible for him to do something that violated ethics and morality. He wanted to use Xia Shui as an experiment to see how much blood he needed. If it was a lot, then Yang Ming wouldn't be able to handle it. He would probably faint from excessive blood loss before he could save the others. So, after giving Xia Shui some of his blood, Yang Ming took out his finger and waited quietly for Xia Shui to wake up. While waiting for Xia Shui to wake up, Yang Ming didn't stay idle. He used his special ability to lock on Leader Ku to see if he had contacted Elder Yu. When Leader Ku returned to his room, Brother Wan stood beside him respectfully. Congratulations on your triumphant return, Leader. Brother Wan said happily. Now that we are back in the stockade, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Before this, I was worried because of that little bastard Yang Ming. That little bastard played a trick on me. Stockade Leader Ku sighed and said with a lingering fear. Leader Ku is wise and powerful. No matter how strong that little bastard Yang Ming is, he is nothing in front of you. Brother Wan said flatteringly. Forget it. Let's not talk about this anymore. Since Yang Ming has fallen into our hands, there is no more suspense. I will call Elder Yu now and hand him over to avoid any more trouble. Stockade Leader Ku said after a moment of hesitation. Okay, I will look for Elder Yu's phone number now. Brother Wan nodded and looked for it in a phone book. After a while, he said, it's here. It's the number of Elder Yu's trusted subordinate. Leader Ku nodded and called Elder Yu's subordinate according to the number in Brother Wan's hand. Hello. Who is this? The call was quickly connected, but the tone of Elder Yu's subordinate on the other side was very cold. There was a sense of superiority. Hello, I am Ku Layman, the leader of mutated Miao village. I am looking for Elder Yu. Leader Ku sighed. Even Elder Yu's subordinate was so arrogant. As the leader of the second largest village, he didn't have much confidence in front of him. He was helpless. Strength was everything. If he didn't have strength, no matter how big the village was, it was useless. Oh, Stockade Master Ku, please wait a moment. The other party's tone was slightly better, but it was still very stiff. There wasn't the slightest bit of respect in it. It was as if it was a business. Okay, thank you. Fort Leader Ku said helplessly. After a while, Elder Yu's voice came from the phone. Hello. Leader Ku. What's the matter? Elder Yu, I've finally captured Yang Ming and the others. When Leader Ku said this, he still had some confidence in his voice. Oh. You've captured Yang Ming and his men. Elder Yu was stunned. He couldn't believe it. Yang Ming and his men were captured by Leader Ku when even Falcon couldn't do anything to them. Yes. Now, these people are being held in mutated Miao Village. Leader Ku said proudly. It was obvious that Elder Yu was very surprised, but the more it was like this, the more it showed that Leader Ku was very capable. How did you deal with them? Elder Yu still couldn't believe it. Well, I used a high-level witchcraft that can make people weak. Once they use their strength, they will faint. That kind of witchcraft made Yang Ming and his men unconscious. Then, I captured them. Leader Ku didn't go into details. He just briefly explained the process. If there were too many details, it would seem that he was a little weak. After being deceived by Yang Ming once, it would be a little embarrassing. Witchcraft. Yang Ming and his men couldn't detoxify the witchcraft. Elder Yu felt that something was wrong. How could it be so easy to capture Yang Ming and his men? It was too easy, especially when Elder Yu had sent people to deal with Yang Ming. He asked Jin Guangdou and his men to use witchcraft on Yang Ming, but they couldn't do anything to him. This meant that there was an expert around Yang Ming who knew how to detoxify the witchcraft. But now, it seemed that this expert wasn't with Yang Ming. He had the antidote pill and the high-level antidote pill. But my witchcraft is useless against these two pills. So, Yang Ming could only be captured by me. Leader Ku said proudly. Elder Yu, where are you? Are you still at the same place? Do you want me to send Yang Ming and his men to you? There's no need for that. I've already left. I've changed my training place. How about this? I'll personally bring my men to your mutated Miao village and take Yang Ming and his men away. Elder Yu thought for a while and said. That's fine. I'll welcome you here. I hope you won't forget the condition you promised me. Leader Ku reminded him. Don't worry. I won't forget what I said. Elder Yu regretted it. If he knew that it would be so easy to capture Yang Ming and his men, he wouldn't have asked Leader Ku to do it. Wouldn't it be better if he did it himself? But now, Leader Ku had done it so easily and even wanted to ask for benefits from him. But since he had already said it, Elder Yu couldn't go back on his words. After all, if he succeeded in taking over Blue Miao Village, he would become one of the most prestigious people in Miaojiang. So, he had no choice but to agree to Leader Ku's condition. Fortunately, Leader Ku's condition wasn't too unreasonable. He would only have one more lackey. It wouldn't be bad to have a lackey like Leader Ku. Thinking of this, Elder Yu was happy again. Yang Ming had been using his X-ray vision to monitor Leader Ku. Although he couldn't hear what Elder Yu said, Yang Ming could see every word that Leader Ku said clearly. He could also make some inferences about Elder Yu's words. It seemed that Elder Yu was going to bring him back personally. This was a good opportunity to kill Elder Yu. If he could use it well, it would be a good plan to kill Elder Yu here. Thinking of this, Yang Ming immediately sent a text message to Lan Ling. If Lan Ling cooperated with him, he should have a chance of winning. After Lan Ling received Yang Ming's text message, she didn't say anything and called Yang Ming. Because this news was too important, she had to confirm it with Yang Ming personally. Although she trusted Yang Ming, she was also afraid that Yang Ming's phone would fall into the hands of others and be used by others to send fake news. Chapter 2069. Ling Ling, it's me. Yang Ming probably guessed Lan Ling's thoughts, so he quickly answered the phone. Yang Ming, did you say that Elder Yu is coming to mutated Miao village to take you away? Lan Ling asked anxiously. Yes, I just got the news. I think Elder Yu is on his way. Time is tight. Can Blue Miao village come and deal with Elder Yu together? If you are here, we have a higher chance of winning. If you are not here, it may be very troublesome. Yang Ming didn't know if he had the confidence to win. Just one stockade master coup was hard enough to deal with, not to mention Elder Yu coming personally. I know. Let me discuss with Grandma. If it is possible, we will go and deal with Elder Yu together. Lan Ling pondered and said. Okay, I will wait for your news. Yang Ming nodded and hung up the phone. As for Xia Shui, she slowly woke up when Yang Ming called. Yang Ming. What happened to me? Did I wake up? Where am I? Xia Shui rubbed her eyes and found a sweet taste in her mouth. What is the taste in my mouth? You woke up. Then it's fine. We are in Master Ku's cell. Yang Ming quickly explained, the blood in your mouth is my blood. I have to save others first. Yang Ming saw that Xia Shui woke up, and he was relieved. It seemed that Lan Ling's method was effective. At least he didn't need to use that method. Yang Ming walked to Lu Yezi's side and put his bleeding finger into his mouth. Then, he did the same thing to Feng Tianlong and Xiao Susu. You used your blood to save us. Xia Shui was surprised, your blood can cure the voodoo. And I was poisoned by Lan Ling's voodoo. This voodoo has a special feature. While it can't betray the person who poisoned me emotionally, it can also provide corresponding benefits. First of all, after a period of time, the body will gradually become stronger and immune to diseases. This is only on the surface. At the same time, it can also be immune to many voodoo, such as the voodoo that Master Ku poisoned us. Yang Ming had now finished treating Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong, and Xiao Susu. He was waiting for them to wake up, so he had nothing to do for the time being. He explained to Xia Shui, in my blood, there is a similar detoxification component. Although it isn't that strong, it is still effective against the voodoo. So, you can wake up. I see. Xia Shui nodded, however, it isn't right. Can't betray the person who poisoned you. It seems like you have betrayed Lan Ling. You have so many women. How you can't betray her? Xia Shui's tone was somewhat sarcastic. This betrayal refers to the betrayal in my heart. I have her in my heart, so it isn't considered betrayal. Yang Ming smiled awkwardly, moreover, Chen Mengyan and the others will also be infected by the voodoo. So this time, if I can't go back, it is equivalent to harming them for life. Oh. They are also infected with the voodoo. Doesn't that mean that they can't betray you? But it's okay. Isn't it fine as long as they don't betray you in their hearts? When you can't go back, they can still find some comfort. Xia Shui was obviously dissatisfied with Yang Ming, so she deliberately said this to disgust Yang Ming. They are different. Yang Ming sighed, whether it is physically or mentally, they can't betray me. In fact, I would rather not have this voodoo. How could Yang Ming not hear the sarcasm in Xia Shui's words? However, Yang Ming sincerely hoped that Chen Mengyan and the others did not have this voodoo. With the existence of this voodoo, it was equivalent to harming them for the rest of their lives. It tied their lifetime happiness to him. You know it's not fair. Xia Shui snorted, then when we drank your blood, will we also be infected with the voodoo? How is this possible? Lu Yezi and Feng Tianlong are men. I can't bear it. Yang Ming was shocked. He quickly shook his head and explained. That's more like it. If I was infected with the voodoo, I would have to marry you. What a loss. Xia Shui snorted. At this time, Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong, and Xiao Susu slowly woke up. Xia Shui closed her mouth. She could complain to Yang Ming, but in front of others, she was too embarrassed to say it. We are awake. Boss, did you save us? Feng Tianlong stood up and stretched his body. He didn't find anything strange. He didn't feel tired either. He was pleasantly surprised. It seems like I am fine. Am I full of strength now? Me too. Boss, you know how to detoxify the voodoo. Lu Yezi also said in surprise. There is a bloody smell in my mouth. Xiao Susu said, but she looked at Yang Ming's finger. If I guessed correctly, it was Captain Yang who saved us with his own blood. Captain Yang, is there a component in your blood that can detoxify the voodoo? Xiao Susu's observation was more detailed. She could see some unnoticed details at once. Hee, your observation is quite detailed. Yang Ming smiled and nodded. That's right. My blood does have the function of detoxifying the voodoo, but now is not the time to talk about this. We have to have a short discussion now to study the countermeasures to deal with Elder Yu later. Deal with Elder Yu. After everyone heard Yang Ming's words, they were shocked. They didn't expect that they would have to deal with Elder Yu on the first day in Miaojiang. Wasn't this too fast? In fact, even Yang Ming himself didn't expect that they would have to deal with Elder Yu so soon. However, since things had come to this point, there was no other way. This was a good opportunity to meet Elder Yu. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yang Ming didn't want to give up, so he could only grab it in his hands. That's right. I deliberately pretended to faint and was brought here by Leader Ku. I wanted to use him to lure Elder Yu out. Yang Ming briefly told what happened at that time to them, and then said, after that, I have used my X-ray vision to see the phone call between Leader Ku and Elder Yu. Elder Yu should be on his way. We have to be ready for battle at any time. But, we don't have any confidence at all. We can't even deal with Leader Ku. How can we deal with Elder Yu? Lu Yezi smiled bitterly. Boss, isn't this too fast? We don't know anything about Elder Yu. I know this, but since things have developed to this point, we have to go. Elder Yu is difficult to deal with, but if I can find his weakness, we still have a chance to deal with him together. Yang Ming said. Chapter 2070. That's the only way. After all, things have already come to this point. We have no other way. Lu Yezi said, Boss, what good ideas do you have? The key is to deal with Elder Yu. We are not afraid of anything else but his unpredictable voodoo. I don't have a better solution for the voodoo problem. So far, I know that the antidote pill and my blood can solve a part of the voodoo. So, it's better for each of you to take a mouthful of my blood. If Elder Yu really uses the voodoo to deal with us, you can swallow the blood and leave quickly. I will deal with it alone. Yang Ming said, if you can't win, don't fight head-on. If I can't win, I will retreat as soon as possible. Okay, we got it. Lu Yezi nodded. Yang Ming's meaning was obvious. Where there's life, there's hope. Don't fight head-on with the opponent. The consequences would be very serious. When the time comes, everyone will be wiped out. It's better to retreat first and plan for the long term. While Yang Ming was waiting, Lanmiao village also held an emergency internal meeting. I think everyone knows about the news that Ling Ling said, right? Now, let's talk about it. What do you think? Time is of the essence. Make it short. The one who spoke was Lan Ling's grandmother, the current person in charge of Lanmiao village. I think this is a rare opportunity. Elder Yu has been hiding his whereabouts. Our people have been inquiring about Elder Yu's news, but we haven't had any accurate information. This time, the one who spoke was Elder Zhua. In Lan Miao village, he was the great elder who was on par with Elder Yu. He was also one of the most prestigious people under the village chief. He was a supporter of Lan Ling's grandmother. Naturally, he directly agreed with Lan Ling's grandmother's suggestion. I think we can attack Elder Yu. After all, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If we miss this opportunity, we don't know when we can fight Elder Yu again. I don't agree. This time, the one who spoke was the deputy chief of Lan Miao village. Like Elder Zhua and Elder Zhua, he was one of the most authoritative people under the village chief. If it weren't for Lan Ling's grandmother's strong hand, he wouldn't have been able to replace Lan Hai as the village chief of Lan Miao village. However, it was impossible to make his subordinates united. Lan Ling and Lan Ling's grandmother's face suddenly became tense. They didn't expect the deputy chief to disagree. Why? Lan Ling's grandmother asked. This is a good opportunity. Otherwise, it's hard to say when we will meet Elder Yu next time. If we don't take action, how can we have another chance? Why? Master, it's not that I don't agree, but in such a short time, how can we make sufficient preparations to face Elder Yu? If we go there like this, won't we be caught unprepared? The deputy chief said, my opinion is that we absolutely can't fight a battle we have no confidence in. I don't know when we'll meet again. But this time, it's too rushed. I definitely won't agree. This is taking Lan Miao village's strength as a joke, said the deputy chief. This time, if we attack without preparation, how many unnecessary losses will there be? Have you thought about it? Danger and opportunity coexist. If we don't take action, how will we know the result? Elder Zhua said. In short, I agree. Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. Don't you just want to help Yang Ming? Don't I know Yang Ming's identity? The deputy chief snorted and said, Yang Ming is just Lan Ling's boyfriend. You can't ignore the interests of Lan Miao village for him alone. This is simply a heinous crime. Sacrificing our own interests for someone else's interests. You. Elder Zhua was angry. We watched Ling Ling grow up. Her boyfriend is in trouble. Shouldn't we help? What's more, we're dealing with Elder Yu this time. How can we be involved? Her boyfriend is a member of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. He's helpful to us. He's not dragging us down. We're cooperating with them to fight the enemy, not to help them. Since they're so powerful, let them deal with Elder Yu alone. The deputy chief said faintly. Personal feelings are personal feelings. I'm responsible for the entire Lan Miao village. Now, Elder Yu hasn't mastered the Jin Gang Gu yet. He hasn't turned into the invincible Jin Gang yet. It's the best time for us to take action. If he masters the Jin Gang invincible body in the future, will we still have a chance? Lan Ling's grandmother said. Don't we have the Herculean Gu? As long as we master the Herculean Gu, we won't be afraid of his Jin Gang Gu. The deputy chief was a conservative. No matter what they said, he didn't want to take the risk. We don't have anything now. How are we going to deal with Elder Yu? He still has the sinister Gu on him. This is an incomplete version of the Jin Gang Gu. He's already halfway through and has some success. If we deal with him, won't we just increase the casualties? Why don't we raise our hands to vote? Elder Zhua had no choice but to suggest. Vote? Lan Ling's grandmother smiled bitterly. The result of the vote would be a tie of 2-2 at most. The chief steward of the village was personally promoted by the deputy chief. Although he hadn't spoken yet, he would definitely be on the deputy chief's side when the time came to vote. Lan Ling didn't have the right to speak here. She was worried about Yang Ming's safety and couldn't wait to run to Yang Ming's side. However, she also knew that the deputy chief was a fair and stubborn person. He was the kind of person who wholeheartedly served the public interest. As long as it was beneficial to Lan Miao village, he would do anything. If it wasn't beneficial to Lan Miao village, no one would allow it. She was afraid that only her grandfather could order around this stubborn old man with a bad temper. Lan Ling's grandmother obviously knew about the deputy chief's temper, so she was also a little helpless. The atmosphere was in a deadlock. For a moment, no one could convince the other. However, time passed by minute by minute. It was extremely urgent. One had to know that time was precious. Yang Ming was still waiting for a reply. However, there was no conclusion in this family meeting. Deputy Chief, this old one, is begging you this time. Lan Ling's grandmother saw Lan Ling's distressed and helpless expression. Her heart ached and she couldn't help but stand up and beg the deputy chief. Chapter 2071. Chief. You. The deputy chief didn't expect Lan Ling's grandmother to suddenly stand up and do such a thing. This put him in a difficult position. In his heart, he didn't want Lan Miao village to take the risk. Now that Lan Miao village had lost half of its strength due to Elder Yu, it was almost unable to recover from the setback. If they were to fight with Elder Yu, they must have 100% confidence. However, this time, they really didn't have any confidence. However, it was impossible to say that he didn't have any feelings. After so many years, how could he be heartless? He also watched Lan Ling grow up. Naturally, he didn't want Lan Ling to be sad. However, some things weren't the time to talk about personal feelings. He couldn't sacrifice the entire Lan Miao village for Lan Ling's feelings. This wasn't realistic. Thinking of this, the deputy chief couldn't help but sigh. He stood up and said to Lan Ling's grandmother, "Chief, you don't have to say any more. I won't change my mind. This is for the sake of Lan Miao village. Even if you and Lan Ling think that I'm a sinner, I don't care. I don't ask to be worthy of everyone, but I must be worthy of the entire Lan Miao village. Even if the old chief comes back and removes me from the position of deputy chief, I'm willing to do so. This time, it's absolutely impossible." "All right." Lan Ling's grandmother smiled bitterly and said, "I knew that you wouldn't agree. After so many years, who doesn't understand each other? Unless old Lan comes back personally, you won't listen to anyone else. I hope the chief can understand," said the deputy chief. "I understand. Grandpa Deputy Chief, I know that you have your concerns. Since that's the case, I don't want to make this difficult for everyone. Others can choose not to go, but I can't. No matter what, I have to go and take a look. Yang Ming is my lover and my happiness in this life. There's a voodoo between me and him. If he dies, I'll die." At this moment, Lan Ling stood up and said, "I hope all the elders can understand my feelings. I'm afraid that I won't be able to help everyone in the future. The Herculean voodoo is something that my junior brother and I researched together. What I know, he knows too. Without me, Lan Miao village won't be affected much. I'm sorry, Grandma, Grandpa Zhua, Grandpa Deputy Chief, and Grandpa Butler. Ling Ling has to leave." Lan Ling's words made everyone present fall into silence. Of course, everyone didn't want Lan Ling to take the risk by herself. However, they couldn't do anything about it. After all, Lan Ling was right. Yang Ming was her lover and her happiness. Moreover, they were connected by the heart voodoo. If one of them died, even if the other didn't die, he would suffer great pain in his heart. Therefore, they had no reason to stop Lan Ling. "Ling Ling, be careful. This is all that Grandma can help you with. As she spoke, Lan Ling's grandmother took out a small box and handed it to Lan Ling. She said, "Take this. In case of emergency, you can use it, this is." Lan Ling was shocked. She looked at the small box that Lan Ling's grandmother handed over and asked in surprise. "This is a top-grade goo dispelling pill," Lan Ling's grandmother said. "A top-notch goo dispelling pill?" Lan Ling was shocked and looked at her grandmother in surprise. This top-notch goo dispelling pill was a sacred medicine that could cure all kinds of voodoo. One should know that the refining of this kind of goo dispelling pill was quite complicated. Moreover, the ingredients were very rare. Lan Miao Village's stock this year was probably all that they had. A new top-notch goo dispelling pill could only be refined next year. Moreover, this top-notch goo dispelling pill had a high requirement for the person who refined it. In Lan Miao Village, only Lan Ling's grandmother, Elders Hua, and the deputy chief could refine it. Moreover, the success rate was very low. Take it. Although there are only 3 pills left, they can still be of some use during critical moments. Lan Ling's grandmother said. But you guys. Lan Ling looked at the deputy chief. He, take it. This kind of thing is just a worldly possession. We can refine it when the time comes. Moreover, with us old guys here, even if the people of Lan Miao Village were to be poisoned with a powerful voodoo, we can go and cure the voodoo ourselves. We don't need this thing. The deputy chief smiled and said. This time, he didn't say much. This was because he actually cared about Lan Ling in his heart. However, compared to the entire Lan Miao Village, he put his personal feelings at the back of his mind. His mind was filled with the benefits of Lan Miao Village. Alright, then I won't hold back. Lan Ling pondered for a while and nodded. She kept the small box on her body. This was because the deputy chief was right. As long as the elders were here, they could cure the people of Lan Miao Village no matter what kind of voodoo they were poisoned with. Ling Ling, be careful. If you can't beat them, persuade Yang Ming to leave and come back to Lan Miao Village. We'll discuss this at length. This isn't a deserter. This is called revenge is a dish best served cold. Elders Hua said to Lan Ling, remember my words. Okay. Thank you, Grandpa Hua. Lan Ling nodded solemnly. She turned around and walked out of the room quickly. Time was of the essence. She had to hurry. Sigh. Looking at Lan Ling's departing figure, Lan Ling's grandmother sighed. I hope Ling Ling can be safe. I'm sorry, Chief. The deputy chief said again. Forget it. This is fate. Since Ling Ling chose Yang Ming back then, everything is fated. I hope this time, she can turn the misfortune into a blessing. Lan Ling's grandmother waved her hand and said. Elders Hua fell into silence. After a while, he said, continue researching the Herculean voodoo. We have to figure it out as soon as possible. It'll be best if we can figure it out before Elder Yu researches the Jin Gang voodoo. Elder Yu had already arrived at Abnormal Miao Village. Elder Yu's residence was not far from here. Moreover, he rushed to Abnormal Miao Village after receiving the call. Naturally, he was much faster than Lan Ling. Elder Yu and his subordinates came together. At Abnormal Miao Village, they received a grand welcome. The chief of Abnormal Miao Village, Ku, personally came to the entrance of the village to welcome them. Elder Yu, you're here. You must be tired. When Ku saw Elder Yu, he quickly went up to him and greeted him respectfully. Are you hungry? I've prepared a sumptuous dinner. Elder Yu, please. There's no need for these useless things. It's not too late to eat later. Did you really catch Yang Ming and the rest? Until now, Elder Yu still didn't quite believe it. How could Yang Ming be caught by Master Ku? Yes. How could we lie to Elder Yu about such a serious matter? Previously, when I brought them back to Abnormal Meow Village, I specially asked someone to take photos of them. Elder Yu, why don't you take a look at the photos to confirm? Ku quickly said. Chapter 2072. Then why don't you show me the photo? Elder Yu frowned and said to Stockade Leader Ku. Yes. I'll ask someone to bring it over. Stockade Leader Ku said to Brother Wan, where's the photo? Bring it over quickly. I'll get it now. Please wait for a moment, Elder Yu and Stockade Leader. Brother Wan nodded and turned around to get the photo. Fort Leader Ku, on the other hand, was all smiles as he said, Elder Yu, shall we go eat dinner first? Alright, let's go. Elder Yu saw that Brother Wan went to get the photo, so he believed that Stockade Leader Ku couldn't lie. As for whether the person in the photo was Yang Ming, he could tell at a glance, so there was no need to rush. Stockade Leader Ku quickly and respectfully invited Elder Yu into the dining hall of Mutated Meow Village. It was an open-air pavilion, but it covered a large area, about a few hundred square meters. At this moment, there was a row of delicious food in the dining hall. Stockade Leader Ku specifically asked the chef to prepare it before Elder Yu came. Elder Yu, please eat. Stockade Leader Ku bowed respectfully and let Elder Yu take a seat first. No rush, wait for your subordinate to bring the photo over first. Elder Yu wasn't sure about Yang Ming's identity, so he wasn't in the mood to eat. Only when he was sure that Yang Ming was his prisoner, could he eat with peace of mind. Okay, then let's wait for a while. Stockade Leader Ku saw that Elder Yu insisted, so he had no choice but to say so. After a while, Brother Wan ran over quickly with a digital camera in his hand. There was no Polaroid camera in Mutated Meow Village, and he didn't have time to print the photos he took. He was afraid that Elder Yu would be anxious, so he took the digital camera directly. Elder Yu, please take a look. Brother Wan handed the digital camera in his hands to Elder Yu and asked him to take a look. Elder Yu took the camera and looked at the photo inside. Suddenly, his face lit up with joy. He recognized two people in the photo. One was Yang Ming, and the other was Xia Shui. When he was in Songjiang City, Elder Yu had a lot of dealings with these two people. He would recognize Yang Ming even if he turned into ashes. And Xia Shui, the captain of the criminal investigation team, was the one who ruined his good deed. It's really them. I didn't expect that Stockade Master Ku would really capture them. Good, good, good. When Elder Yu saw the photo of Yang Ming being captured, he was in a good mood. Now, let's go to the celebration banquet. Elder Yu, you flatter me. This way please. Fort Leader Ku was very happy to hear Elder Yu's compliment. He smiled and said. Elder Yu was relieved. Naturally, he didn't have any worries. He sat down with Leader Ku and started to eat. On Yang Ming's side, when he saw Elder Yu coming, he bit his finger again. He was ready to let his team members drink a mouthful of blood. He was ready to fight, but he didn't expect this guy to run away to eat. He was a little depressed. Let's wait for a while. Elder Yu went to have a meal with Stockade Master Ku. I don't think he will come to find us for a while. Yang Ming said with a wry smile. It can't be. After this guy came, he didn't deal with us first. He actually went to have a meal. Lu Yezi was also a little disappointed. He was excited for nothing. It's good to wait for a while. Lon Ling hasn't replied yet. If we have Lon Ling's help, we can relax a little. Xia Shui was a person who could distinguish right from wrong. Lon Ling was considered the first woman Yang Ming confirmed a relationship with. Naturally, she wouldn't reject her. Besides, Xia Shui, wasn't Yang Ming's woman yet. She had been hesitating. She hadn't decided whether to be with Yang Ming or not. Yang Ming already had enough women. If she were to blindly get involved, to put it bluntly, how many days could she sleep with Yang Ming in a month? 2 days at most, right? If the two of them stayed in Yunnan, it would be fine. However, Yang Ming had to go back eventually. Whether it was Yang Ming's character or Yang Ming's voodoo, he couldn't abandon those women. Therefore, Xia Shue's heart was very conflicted. Fortunately, her whole attention was now on performing the mission. For other things, she was more open-minded. That's right. Lan Ling hasn't called me yet. I don't know how the discussion is going on her side. It's probably hopeless. Yang Ming sighed and said. Oh. How come? Won't Lan Miao village support us? This is a good opportunity to eliminate Elder Yu in one fell swoop. Xia Shui suddenly asked with some doubts. It's a good opportunity, but Lan Miao village's current strength isn't enough. They are currently resting. They aren't Elder Yu's opponent. Yang Ming said, if they can compete with Elder Yu, would they still wait until now? Isn't it said that Elder Yu's tracks are hard to find? Xia Shui asked with some surprise. It's true that his tracks are hard to find. However, no matter how hard it is to find him, he has been in Miaojiang for so long. There should be some news, right? We are so lucky to meet Elder Yu on the first day we came. Lan Miao village is here all day. How can we not have a chance to meet him? Yang Ming shook his head and said, the only explanation is that they didn't put in the effort to find him. This thing isn't intentional. Of course, they can't find it. Before their strength is insufficient, they naturally won't put in the effort to find him. Because it's useless even if they find him. They aren't his opponent. It turns out to be like this. Then, this time, we can only rely on ourselves. Xia Shue's mood sank slightly. Without Lan Ling's help, they were a little weak with only a few people. It was difficult to compete with Elder Yu. Yes, we can only rely on ourselves. Let's play it by ear. Yang Ming nodded. She's your first girlfriend. If I were Lan Ling, I would persuade Lan Miao village to help no matter what. It's so dangerous. Aren't we just watching you die? Xia Shui was somewhat unhappy. Hee hee. Lan Miao village isn't managed by Lan Ling alone. Lan Miao village is managed by many people. Lan Ling can't control the entire Lan Miao village. I believe that she will try her best, but we can't make things difficult for her. Yang Ming understood Lan Ling. If she could, Lan Ling would definitely help. However, she couldn't do anything about it. Now, Elder Yu's so-called Jin Gang voodoo hasn't been successfully refined. However, he changed the Jin Gang voodoo into a kind of sinister voodoo. Now, sinister voodoo has some success. Lan Miao village's Herculean voodoo has not been successfully refined. It's normal for them to be cautious. This is understandable. That's true. Xia Shui nodded and sighed. There are some things that we can't control. As they were talking, Yang Ming's phone rang. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.